I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. It's about you. I would never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you?
Let's go. Oh, shit. Let's go. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh. Do you need anything like I need you? Yeah, dude, you take a day off, and it's just crazy. Let's go. Borrow bad. Let's go, baby. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Let's go. It's over. Let's go. Dude, my fucking having earbud issues. Dude, my ears are growing or some shit. Man, the fuck? Got my new hat, my new Mariners hat. It's clean. Little energy drink at 11 p.m. Dude, there's a meteor shower right now? Let's go, dude. Can you see that everywhere? Maybe losing a set of earbuds, dude. Dude, yeah, the hat is good. Are they tied for first? Dude, I haven't even seen that. I haven't looked at the standings. I know they went like 9-1. You know what I'm saying? In the Oh, they are. Dude, yeah, 9-1 in the last 10, bro. 8 in a row. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, they've been on a tear. Yeah, something's going on with this fucking earbud, bro. Well, let's go. Misdirection. You know I'm through with you. Your hoops and my obsessions. Always jumping through. All right. Yeah, dude, today was crazy. You never will. All right. Let's get that live chat. There we go. All right. All right. Federal courts under cyber attack. Dude, did you see the rabbits? Did you see the rabbits, bro? This shit is so crazy. Okay, let me just tell you. It's like shit is so wonky that even the rabbits are fucked up. In Colorado, right? There's like rabbits in Colorado that are growing fucking tentacles, bro. What the fuck? There's like some crazy papillomavirus that the rabbits are getting, dude. Isn't that wild? Like, dude, the world is so fucked up under Trump. that even the rabbits are like growing tentacles on their faces. Yeah. This is like, dude, we are fucked. Right? Yeah, I definitely, something is fucking gone. Something's up with my fucking headset here. Yo. All right. We'll figure it out. Dude, isn't that wild? Dude, it's just fucked up, bro. Okay? And it doesn't infect humans, but people are saying don't touch the rabbits. But dude, look at the rabbits, dude. Even the rabbits are getting infected with Trumpism, boss. You know? The world's gone mad, bro. The rabbits have viruses. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Dude, my fucking, something's going on with this headset. It's like crackling. Yo. Yeah, something is up. I may need to get some new earbuds. But, dude, isn't this crazy? Yeah, dude, you think MAGA's going to get some tentacles? Right? Is that going to be what's next? MAGA is going to be like chewing on ivermectin pellets or some shit because they have rabbit tentacles. Dude, Chris, let's go, baby. Dude, let's go. All right, dance party? Yeah, no, we'll get the dance party. Dude, I don't know what's going on with my fucking headset. Hold on, let me do something real quick. Let me do an experiment here. Yo. Okay, so there is something with the fucking headset itself that is like overloading. Yeah, virus caused that. It's like a papillomavirus, right? SPV. So I feel like it's some type of relative to HPV, right? There we go. Check. Yeah, my fucking headset. I may need a new headset. I think I'm losing something. So, all right, we'll start a goal. Let's go. Oh, woo. Start a goal. Yeah, my headset is crazy, dude. Shit is like outrageous. All right, do a 1 hour dance party goal. Let's go, baby. There it is. The goal is started. There's our goal. 1 hour. 10 super chats for dance party. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. It's just, you know, I mean, it's just the world's getting more and more fucked up, right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The world is just fucked up right now. Dude, we got Trump investigating everybody and trying to act like it's legitimate because, you know, he's just mad that he got in trouble. So now he's investigating everyone, okay? But it's not lawfare, right? It's not lawfare that every single person who's ever spoken negatively of Trump is currently under investigation by a rogue fucking Department of Justice. That's not lawfare at all now, is it? Right? He gets charged for the insurrection and fake electors. That was lawfare. But him charging every single human being on the planet that's ever been critical of him, not lawfare. All right. Eventually, I'm just going to have to leave the headset. Dude. Oh, it's annoying that ICE is paying so much. Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I feel like the ICE thing, even with the pay, I think you a certain type of person's going to take that job, right? You have to be somebody like Dean Cain, whose career is completely underwater. And you right? Dude, Mark Zuckerberg's building an underground lair. Yeah. Do you see the other shit that went on as long as we're talking about Zuckerberg with 𝗙𝗏𝗏? Do you know who this guy is? This guy right here, 𝗙𝗏𝗏, is like probably one of the most toxic anti-LGBTQ like freak show motherfuckers out there. And Meta just hired him, okay, to be like part of their AI bias advisor. Jesus. So we're going to have anti-LGBTQ AI running rampant on Facebook. Right? I mean, the die is cast. Okay. It started with the they, them campaign, the anti-trans stuff, right? I mean, people don't even realize. I know there's people who bought into the whole men and women sports nonsense, and they bought into this shit. They got that shit on their wet brains, and now they don't realize that they are going to help the Heritage Foundation attack and dismantle every LGBTQ rights, right? They're going to watch every LGBTQ person they know suffer because of their fucking poor decision making, right? Because they decided to, you know, like freak out about something that's not even real. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Jesus. Dude, this shit sucks, bro. So I guess what happened is one of the AI chat bots on Facebook like said that Robbie Starbuck was involved in J6. Then he sued them, and he's leveraged this into an advisor position, right? Dude, isn't this crazy? You're already leaving your family community in Houston for Chicago? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I get it, Sky, but good for you though for being proactive, right? Getting out. Texas is going to be very inhospitable, right? If you know anybody who's LGBTQ in Texas, like they need to get out, right? And if they can't afford to, like, I don't know, we need GoFundMe. We need to like start up GoFundMes or something. It's like it's going to get bad. Texas, just in general. I mean, Texas has always been a little suspect, but man, it's about to get gnarly, especially for transgender people. I think there's a strong possibility that Texas is soon going to be the least safe state in the union for trans people, right? Yeah. Is it your state senator? Are they like one of the sponsors of that identity fraud bill? There's a bill that they're trying to pass in Texas, which would basically say every transgender person is committing identity fraud. And it would make being transgender a felony punishable by jail time. That's what they're trying to pass, right? Oh, that's in the House? Okay. Well, the House is frozen right now because all the House reps are in Chicago. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to get gnarly. I mean, you know, I will say, though, that I don't think it's going to be the worst it's ever been for them because there's a lot of people that are aware, and like trans people have a lot of allies that they did not have. I mean, it was pretty bad in the 70s. Obviously, transgender people were relegated to sex work only. They were harassed by cops, and they really had a lot of trouble surviving. And they had no allies. They really didn't. I mean, you would go to certain parts of maybe LA, Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle, New York. There were certain neighborhoods where there were allies, but now there's like more allies. But still, it's still going to be hard. Only means so much if you can't get an ID. Yeah, no, I know, man. That's fucking rough, dude. It's just so depressing. You think if we get rid of the Electoral College, it would help? I mean, getting rid of the Electoral College would change shit, but we have to be honest. The Electoral College, because it would require a constitutional amendment, the Electoral College is never going anywhere. However, sorry, my fucking headset is fucked up. However, there is a thing called the Interstate Voting Compact, okay, that has been underway for 20 years, okay? If you look at this, right, it's called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. I'm going to put a link to it in chat, guys. This right here is the way that we're going to eradicate the Electoral College. Dude, you got to meet Bernie? Let's go, baby. Thank you, Chris. Dude, let's go. I love it. So the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, if you see it right now, it has been ratified by the green states, and it has been proposed or taken up in the yellow states. And now what it is right now, There's 209 electoral votes that have signed on to this thing. And what it is it's a binding agreement amongst these states in green. And it hasn't been agreed upon in the yellow states. But once it gets to enough states have agreed to this compact for, right, where it hits 270, right? As soon as states that amount to 270 electoral votes sign on to this thing, it will become binding law and in a national compact by all the states that they will automatically give their electors to the popular vote winner of the national election, regardless of who wins their state. Okay? And so once this has 270 electoral votes of states signed on, the Electoral College is done. Okay? Then those states will automatically grant their electors to the popular vote winner, guaranteeing that the popular vote winner will get 270. And so they started working on this thing back in 2006. Okay? You don't really hear a lot out of it, but you can talk to your legislators and get them involved. They've been working on it for 19 years. Oregon's in it, Washington's in it, California, New Mexico, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, New York. You see Vermont, Maine, a whole bunch of these, New Jersey, looks like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and then the Maryland and Delaware, right? You never heard of it? I know. I think what it is it's relatively low profile because that's sort of the best way of it getting in there. I feel like it maybe has a good chance in like Michigan. I feel like Michigan, maybe if Roy Cooper wins the Senate seat and maybe they get another, maybe Kentucky. I mean, there might be a couple. I feel like Nevada would have a chance at ratifying this thing, but it's pretty revolutionary. Okay. And then, and I mean, right now though, there's 98 electoral votes pending here. Arizona, Kansas, Texas. I don't think it'll get through Texas, South Carolina, right? Virginia. But when it hits 270, the Electoral College is done, guys. It is a big deal. Yes, it is a big deal. It'll mean you need a popular vote victory. And what's more though, dude, Risco, let's go. Thank you. What's greater about this, guys, is this changes the dynamics of the election in general, because now all states are in play, okay? Because now they don't have to just campaign in Wisconsin and Michigan, right? You know what I mean? Like right now, all the campaigning happens in Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, fucking, Pennsylvania. Those are the only, North Carolina, those are the only states that they worry about are the swing states. But here, the platform and the party will be responsible to every voter in America. Every voter in America, right? It is going to be landmark, okay? It is going to be landmark. Yeah, it's an interstate compact. Oh shit. Isn't that wild? Dude, this is a big deal, boss. I think this is huge. We need to reduce the power of the president. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to have to so here's the thing though, that's interesting, guys, is yes and no. Okay. The way I'm looking at what Trump's doing right now is I am sort of looking at it as like, okay, Trumpy, because the Republicans are notoriously not good at governing. Okay. They're not good at getting shit done. They're notoriously incapable. Now, Trump has expanded the powers of the president crazily. Okay. Well, that also means a Democratic president could go in there and use those expanded powers to really make a whole bunch of shit happen. Right? You know what I'm saying? Use a ginormous, take advantage of those expanded presidential powers and do a whole bunch of shit. And then, after doing a whole bunch of shit, then reduce the presidential power again. Right? You know? I mean, as long as the presidential power is expanded, why not capitalize on it? Right? Why not, you know, dig into that a little bit and flex that might, you know? Yeah, the Supreme Court, we need that dance. Future feels bleak. Dude, I feel you. Dude, today, some of these days, guys, it's just going to feel like that. Some of these days, you're going to wake up and you're going to feel like, holy shit, I don't know if I can make it through the day. Okay? But, dude, so MTG, though, is on a tear, right? Oh, my God, dude. Let's watch some of these videos, shall we? I want to watch bits of these videos. The whole thing needs to be reworked. Yeah, I mean, so my thing is like, I look at it as like, there's a number of things that I think would be good. Obviously, if I'm looking long term, I think expanding the Supreme Court and expanding the Supreme Court and reducing, installing some sort of term limits on the Supreme Court would be a good idea, right? I think, obviously getting rid of stock trading would be a good idea. We need some type of like regulation of hedge funds and maybe like a tax, like a significant tax on hedge fund activity where like, yeah, you can have hedge funds, but we're going to fucking eat into those profits significantly, right? Really charge hedge funds a lot of money for participating, right? Obviously medical care and access to, you know, better access to education. But, and once you expand the Supreme Court and put in some term limits, like revoking Citizens United, okay, we definitely, you know what I'm saying? We definitely need to get rid of like this idea that corporate money can start buying the politicians. It's just ridiculous. I don't know how Citizens United passed. Like, obviously, that's one of the worst fucking, like, that is one of the worst court decisions that we've ever seen, right? How was that ballroom legal? I mean, you know, people are allowed to, like, change the White House, right? I don't see anything illegal with it, you know? I mean, just most people have respected the tradition of the White House. Trump has no respect for tradition. Yeah, see, crypto is really interesting because crypto is kind of problematic. You know, it really is, man. It's like, I mean, it's pretty problematic, guys. Crypto. There's a lot of money laundering. You know, there are historical society rules and regulations. Are there? Yeah, see, I'm not really well versed on the White House, but like to me, that's like the least of my worries. I do find it interesting though that Trump is spending hundreds of millions of dollars to add a giant ballroom to the White House when he's gonna be out of office in 3 years. Seems a little weird, doesn't it? That this thing's going to finish like right at the end of his term. That seems pretty bizarre, right? You know, doesn't it? It doesn't seem like a fucking, he ain't leaving. Yeah, well, if he tries not leaving though, then we get to break out the pine box. Okay? So, I mean, if he wants to try it, I say try it, but there will be consequences if he tries that shit. Okay? Without a doubt, there will definitely be consequences. He does not own it. It is not his to ruin. Yeah, I don't really know about the White House. For me though, I don't really care about that. I'll be honest. It's just a building. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care about buildings. I don't care if he adds a ballroom or if he fucking burns that shit down. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't care. I care more about the the mechanics of like the legislation and the executive orders, the oppression, the fucking fascism. And I am definitely, you know, if he tries to run for a third term, like, then I feel like we have a war on our hands at that point, right? That is basically a declaration of war between him and the country. You know, you think it's part of money laundering, the ballroom? Maybe. I mean, dude, crypto does all the money laundering you need. Care because he's making everything look like that. Yeah. I mean, but it's gaudy, right? It's gaudy, and Trump is gaudy. But yeah, I mean, we may get lucky though, and he could die any day now. He's getting old. He's definitely like a fucking degenerate, getting old. He's got swollen ankles. The man's falling apart. I don't think he's going to be around for very long. Dude, Cuomo, dude, did you see Cuomo? Oh my God, Zohran Mamdani just fucking leveled him, bro. All right, the NFL just leveled him. Or the NFL, Zohran just leveled him, dude. Did you see this shit? Look at this shit. So you saw that Cuomo, right? Cuomo made a video, right? Cuomo made a video that was, did you see the Cuomo? Let's look at the Cuomo one. Okay, so Cuomo has been fucking talking big, right? He's trying to mount his little, right? He loses the primary, but it's just not enough, okay, for Cuomo. He lost the primary, all right? And so then he decided he's going to get involved in this shit anyway. So he decides he's fucking getting involved in this shit. And he's been mounting a campaign basically attacking Zohran Mamdani for being rich, for being from Uganda. Right? He is. So he did this video. You ready? So the crux of his argument was that Zohran Mamdani lives in a rent-controlled apartment in Astoria, Queens. Astoria is across the river from Manhattan. It's just north of like Williamsburg and Long Island City. It's a nice part of Queens that's basically kind of even with Central Park, but across the river. And Zohran Mamdani lives in a $2,300 a month apartment, a rent-controlled apartment, which is insane. And so Cuomo's attack has been, you're rich, you shouldn't, oh, you live in Regency Park? Nice. And you shouldn't have a rent-controlled apartment, right? Now, the reality of the situation is that a lot of times it is wealthy people who get the rent control, but rent control apartments aren't just for the poor. You know what I'm saying? But there should be more rent controlled apartments is really what there should be, you know, and you shouldn't be able to fucking, you know, hold on to them for like 50 years. Okay. But anyway, so the thing about this is his attack was basically, you got a rent controlled apartment and you don't deserve it, and you're part of the problem. So here's what Cuomo said. He said, I'm proposing Zohran's law, a law that will keep the rich out of New York's affordable housing. Okay? He says, Zohran Mamdani, you say freeze the rent, but for who? Rich people like you? Hardworking, working class New Yorkers are being pushed from their neighborhoods. Let's build affordable housing that helps the people who need it. Under Zohran's law, landlords can no longer rent vacant, rent-controlled units to the wealthy. You're a rich person stealing affordable housing from the poor, and you're not the only one. It's past time we address this injustice. Now, of course, rent-controlled apartments are not public housing. So Cuomo here is taking a leap, okay? He's now taking rent control and trying to make it like public housing. Okay, but here's his video. You ready? This is his video. All right.
Rent-stabilized units, when they're vacant, should only be rented to people who need affordable housing, not people like Zohran Mamdani. You don't need to be renting rent-stabilized units to wealthy people. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're abusing the system. I'm going to propose not rent that apartment by law, except to a person who actually needs affordable housing. And I'm going to call it Zohran's Law because it's an abuse of the system.
Okay, so that was his big attack, right? There's his big attack is you're abusing the system, right? All right, now, here's where it gets good. Because Zohran Mamdani comes back with his own video, guys. And you ready? Here's his video. Watch this one.
4 years ago, Andrew Cuomo resigned in disgrace, and you probably know why.
The governor's office kept the nursing home death data secret.
Cuomo aggressively groped an aide.
Inappropriately touched a female state trooper.
Use of state resources for a COVID-19 memoir.
Less well known is what he spent the last 4 years doing, besides getting trounced in the Democratic primary. In 2022, Cuomo started Innovation Strategies LLC to represent individuals and corporations in a variety of matters. Definitely not vague. Last year, it raked in more than $500,000. Who paid for Cuomo's services? He refuses to say. But what journalists have been able to piece together is troubling. In April, Bloomberg revealed that Cuomo advised a cryptocurrency exchange based in the Seychelles as it faced federal investigations. Then in May, Politico reported that Cuomo failed to disclose $2.6 million in stock options to the New York City Conflicts of Interest Board. His excuse? The stocks were technically owned by Innovation Strategies, of which he's the sole proprietor. Right. Finally, in June, the New York Times uncovered that Cuomo had worked with his longtime friend Andrew 𝗙𝗪𝗏 on a luxury marina project.
Oh, here it goes.
𝗙𝗪𝗏's previous partner on luxury marinas in the Caribbean, Jeffrey Epstein. That's the thing about Andrew Cuomo. Once you think you found out about all of his scandals, you find out about another, and then another, and then probably another. But if my friend, the disgraced former governor of the state of New York, feels that's unfair, Habibi, release your client.
Habibi!
4 years.
Oh my God, bro! Oh, dude, there are a couple moments there. Like, first off, the cash register cha-ching is amazing. Then when he goes into how Cuomo sets up this dark money thing, and then he fucking doesn't report all this stock that belongs to his dark money thing that he's the sole proprietor for. And then he ties him to the business partner. His business partner used to be Epstein's partner. Habibi, release the client list. Oh my God, dude. He just fucking leveled the man. You know what I'm saying? Like leveled the man, leveled, watching this. Cuomo is trying to be sort of kitschy. You know, he's like, oh, I'm going to blame Zohran for something, and I'm going to use Zohran's name and try to use his name to fight back with some catchy principle because Zohran's the bad guy. But Cuomo is such a bad guy. He is such a degenerate. He is such a smarmy, slimy, scuzzy dude that Mamdani is just going to eat him alive. You know what I'm saying? It's going to eat him alive, bro. You know what I mean? But dude, this is crazy. Oh shit. That is such a video. But when he says Habibi, dude, with that picture, this part right here with the fucking... But if
my friend, the disgraced former governor...
This fucking clip with his hand going up his forehead.
New York feels that's unfair. Habibi.
Habibi.
Release your client list.
Habibi. Oh, dude, he called him Habibi. And I mean, dude, just look at how relaxed he is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like he's so fucking chill, right? He is so chill. It's gonna be, I just, the thing that I can't get out of my head, guys, okay, about Cuomo is this, okay? And I know this, you know, this is not the whole story, but this photograph, which is real, this young lady actually filed a complaint against Cuomo because she didn't like the way he was touching her. And as you can see, he's doing this in public, right? Like fucking hands around her neck and shit, holding her like this. It is so gross. But here's my point, how I relate this to his current campaign. Okay, you ready, guys? He ran in the Democratic primary. The election said no, Andrew. No. And Cuomo's like ignoring the no, right? Cuomo is ignoring the no. The primary said no, and Cuomo is like barging in there anyway. And again, that is a very rapey thing to do. You run, you lose, the voters have said no, but now you're imposing yourself on everybody like a rash or like an STD or like a woman saying no and you just piling in anyway. And I don't like that. I think that alone shows you how Cuomo is, that he's one of those guys that doesn't respect a no, okay? He doesn't respect being told, like, you're done. It's over. He's like, no, I don't care what you say. I don't care that you that you said no. I don't care that you told me to leave. I'm going to barge in here anyway. And so his whole campaign is like this photo. You know what I'm saying? His whole campaign is like this fucking photo. This is the Democratic primary. And Cuomo's like, I don't care that you said no. You know what I mean? Dude, let's go. Good for you, John. Glad you're out there fucking doing your thing, boss. You know what I mean? But yeah, this shit to me, it is fucking crazy. Right? Dude, Cuomo is a psycho. Okay? Cuomo is a psycho. Yeah, I thought Habibi is a term of endearment. It means my love, my dear, or my beloved. All right? It's commonly used to express affection, but can be used between friends and even casual conversation like dude or mate. But yeah. But it is, I mean, it's loaded because you would call your girlfriend Habibi, and you may call Andrew Cuomo Habibi. Dude, oh shit. Dude, that video though, this guy, like, what the fuck is going on with this guy, dude? I mean, this guy, and what did he say, dude? Right? He's out there celebrating Dominican heritage. All right, that's good. But is Cuomo really fucking celebrating Dominican heritage? No, he's trying to get votes, dude. This guy, like, right? But yeah, he is still going ahead, right? He's not taking no for an answer. And to me, that's the shit that I don't like, right? I don't like those kind of guys, right? I don't like those kind of guys that are like, don't take no for an answer guys, you know? Because you're supposed to take no for an answer, dude. You lost the primary. But there's a couple of things about this primary that I am bothered by. I am bothered that Cuomo's not dropping out, okay? I am even more bothered that, like, you know, these New York Democrats aren't endorsing Zohran Mamdani, right? Hakeem Jeffries, vote blue no matter who. Charles Schumer, vote blue no matter who. But they're not doing that shit. That's some fucking bullshit, bro. That is some fucking bullshit. It is, dude. That the vote blue no matter who crowd is like not doing it. You know what I mean? Dude, Kirsten Gillibrand, yeah. I mean, I don't really like any of those people, right? Kathy Hochul, I don't like her that much either, but I know that she'll take on this sort of redistricting battle, so I do appreciate the fight she has there. But a lot of these sort of centrist Dems that are afraid of like socialism, like we need to do something about that because I want healthcare, guys. And we're not going to get healthcare as long as people are afraid of fucking socialism. You know what I'm saying? This socialism, like fucking yellow scare or whatever it is, right? The green scare of socialism is fucking bullshit. We do need to get over that shit. You know? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about that. The AIPAC brigade, yeah. I mean, that's going to be a little more difficult, guys. You know what I'm saying? It is. That's going to be a little more difficult. The AIPAC brigade, that's, you know, I see what I think, guys. You ready for this? I've said this before. I'll say it again. I think the number one thing Dems can do that we can actually pull off, okay, that we can actually win, that we can actually accomplish, and we can achieve, that will help our party and change it forever for the good, is this. We need to make sure the Democratic Party disallows super PACs in the primary, okay? We don't want to get rid of them in the general elections because Republicans are using super PACs and we're going to need that money to compete. But there should be no super PACs in the primaries. So then it's just traditional fundraising from voters. And that way the people's candidates can win the primaries. Because right now what happens, we may have a candidate we love in a district. AIPAC puts $500,000 in some candidate and just wins that district in the primary. AIPAC can primary, or billionaire donors can primary candidates who want to tax the billionaires. But we can do that. Like the Democrats get to write their own rules around Democratic primaries. So I think that should be our focus, is getting super PAC money out of the primaries, right? That would be really helpful. We would start getting more people fucking identified candidates that way. We wouldn't just be getting the candidate with the biggest budget anymore. It would be huge. It would be huge. And in fact, some of those candidates that get funded by super PACs would probably be out of luck in the primary because they wouldn't be able to fundraise from real people. Okay? Some of these corporate candidates are the ones that just, you know, they don't really, they're not good candidates. They're just connected to all that money, right? But yeah, we need to win the House. We're going to have to come together in full defense of every Democrat, even the ones we hate. Dude, in 2026, I'll be fucking stumping for 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀 in 2026. I mean, her term's not going to be up, but you know what I mean. In 2026, I will be rooting and backing and supporting every Democratic primary winner. I don't care if I fucking hate them. Okay? Dude, my biggest, right? You know what I mean? If Andrew Cuomo won a goddamn congressional primary, I would be backing that motherfucker, right? You know, he's not going to, and he's going to lose the mayor race. But you know what I'm saying? I don't care. In 2026, I will support every Democrat. Yeah, we don't have a choice. It is like, I mean, dude, here's the deal. 2016 was the most important election ever. 2020 was the most important election ever. 2024 was the most important election ever. Okay, we fucked up in 2016. We made the right choice in 2020. We fucked up dearly in 2024. But we cannot fuck up in 2026 or 2028, or we are going to be living in a full-blown dictatorship, a Christian dictatorship. We don't get any more like, right? There's no more like whoopsies, okay? It is, if we don't take the House in 2026 and we don't win the presidency in 2028, this country will 100% be a full-blown Christian dictatorship. There is zero doubt about that. We're not going to get another chance. That's it. Okay? We don't have any more opportunities to fuck this up or to be mad because we don't have the perfect candidates. Like, it is like now or never, okay? And I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, no shotties convicted in the Senate. Yeah, see, it's not even about that, about the impeachment or the conviction in the Senate. It's about two things, guys. The reason why the House is important is two things. One is winning the House means his legislative agenda stops, okay? If we win the House, his legislative agenda is dead unless he gives concessions to Democrats. That's part one, okay? Is it ends his legislative agenda. But more important, guys, is the investigations, okay? I'm going to say when we win the House in 2026, we will be able to investigate his crypto, his ties to Epstein, release the files. We will be able to investigate his son's businesses in the Middle East, the Qatari jet. You know what I'm saying? We'll be able to investigate all fucking any behind the scenes dealings he's doing with Ukraine and Russia, right? We will be able to investigate all the lawfare that's been going on, how they're going after every Trump person. We'll be able to investigate ICE and DHS and Kristi Noem and the 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆 stuff and the deal he made with Bukele and everything. And see, this is why, guys, they are literally changing the maps to not lose the House, because he knows if the Democrats win the House, all the corruption that they are currently involved in is going to get a light shined on it, and it's going to grind him to a halt, and it's going to put him in a situation where more than likely he will face criminal charges after the situation is done. So this is huge, guys. This is fucking huge, huge, huge. You know, this is like will be a huge, huge change. Okay, it's you know, it will grind it to a halt. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have damage to fix. I mean, there's already damage, and there's, you know, damage to our international standing and all that. But I feel like all of that shit can be repaired, right? And the way I look at it is anything he broke, we'll just be able to fix and make it more modern and better functioning, right? You know, I mean, having things torn apart like that is an opportunity to remake them more efficient. But what I really want to see is I want to see the endless line of investigations into his business dealings. That's what I really want, guys. Because his business dealings this time around are so dirty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so dirty. I can't even describe to you how dirty. It can't really be repaired. Yes, it can be repaired. Everything can be repaired. It just takes time, right? You know, I mean, people fucking know that it's Trump and not most of America. Everybody's well aware of who the aggressor and what the problem is, right? You know what I'm saying? All of that shit can be repaired. You know, I mean, my God, dude, Germany was once led by Adolf Hitler, and they repaired. You know what I'm saying? Anything can be repaired, guys. You know, it just takes time, right? It just takes time. And it takes, you know, a genuine fucking, right? You need genuine leaders that are committed to fucking healing it. And then you need time, right? But I guess I'm a little bummed because I watched so much good shit happen in the last 20 years that, like, to watch so much of it get unraveled and to watch us, like, get pushed back almost toward the 1980s is really, you know, it's a little disheartening. You know what I mean? Because the thing that I was fucking, you know, I thought I was handing off this, like, way better world to my kid, right? And you know, and now I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And time will fix it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're struggling with, Sam, but you know, chin up, boss. Right? Chin up. America, we're not fucked yet, right? Don't count us out. All right? That's what I say to people. Don't ever fucking count me out. And there's a lot of people like me in this country, so I think we'll be all right. All right? Let's go, baby. Oh, shit. Dude, we survived Reagan, so we're going to survive this. You know, Reagan was a fucking degenerate. Got to rebuild stronger? Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, I admit, though, I'm a dude who, like, I look at the really big challenges and really big fucking sort of car wrecks of circumstance. I look at them as opportunities, guys. I mean, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? It does. It sucks when shit gets broken down, corrupted, destroyed, bull in a china shop. It sucks. But it's always been my experience that after the most wreckage is when you can do the most profound rebuilding. Okay? You really can. Like, you know how we've been talking a lot, guys, about how, like, the incremental change versus really big change? Well, fortunately, what's going to happen is eventually these Republicans are going to be out of power, and then we're going to have to do really big change. And it's going to take a long time, but I think there's going to be some radical positive change that is going to come out of Donald Trump's, you know, destructiveness, right? As long as we get the right people in there, right? Fucking fixing that shit. That's what it's going to come down to. You know what I'm saying? If we get the right people in there, yeah, no, I mean, I get it, Australia. I'm sorry, but like, try not to hold it against the whole country. You know, you're welcome to hold it against the 77 million fucking rednecks who fucking voted for it. But I believe, guys. I just believe. I don't get down though. You know what I mean? I don't get doomy. I don't do doom. I don't. I'm much more like Phoenix rising from the ashes. That's kind of how I operate. Right? I'm Phoenix rising from the ashes. But I think though, if I were to get in office with the expanded presidential power that Trump has created, I would use that to you know, put in some democratic bedrock principles. And I would use that expanded executive power to do really good shit. Right? You know what I'm saying? I would. That's what I would do if I got in there. I would say, fuck it. You expanded the power. All right, now we're going to use it for good. Fuck you, Maga. You know? But yeah, man, I'm sorry about like you guys who are our allies though. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, Sam. I know what you're going through. I mean, I get it. And you guys, like, it's tough, dude. I mean, you're not the only one, Sam. All of our allies are like this. You ready? They're like, right? That's all our allies, dude. Jesus Christ, right? Every ally of ours. Let's go, Risco. Appreciate you. All right, 5 of 10, dude. We got 14 minutes. We need 5 more for a dance party. Let's go, dude. Yeah, dude, Ukraine is so fucked, bro. But we'll get out of this, guys. We'll get out of this. We gotta get that house, though. We got to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Dude, Russia is fucked. Yeah, dude, Russia is fucked. Well, you know the thing about Russia, guys? I'll tell you the thing about Russia, okay? The thing about Russia, and no, I don't believe Zelensky is even invited to be part of this thing. But the thing about Russia is I just believe that their soldiers don't care about the country, right? Sam, let's go, baby. You know what I mean? Like, I think the problem with Russia is the people fighting for Russia don't care about what they're fighting for. They're not really fighting for Vladimir Putin. They know that Putin is a degenerate. They know he's a fucking, it's like they're only fighting for him because they have to. And so you can't do a good job when you're doing that. And guys, I'd like to remind you, okay, Willem, let's go, baby. And I would like to remind you guys, and Grain, let's go, baby, for the hat. I feel like this is the curse of MAGA too, guys. This is why I don't worry so much about if Trump, decides his little military takeover, because the people that are like backing Trump or whatever, they're just going along because they have to. They're not really invested in this shit. They're ass kissing. They're doing what they need to do in order to stay in his good graces. But the reality is they don't really believe in the man, right? They're just saying that shit. They're just talking about Mount Rushmore and the Nobel Peace Prize to stay in his good graces, to try and use his power, right? But they don't believe in the actual fucking, you know what I'm saying? They don't have anything they really fucking believe in, They don't, man. They're like, you can't fight from that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Dude, let's go. Appreciate you, Godzilla. All right, we need 2 more guys. Got 12 minutes, 2 more. All right, 1 more. Shake that ass, baby, we will. Let's go. All right, we're definitely getting it. Dude, let's go with the gifted membership. Woot, woot. Woot, woot. Love it. We love to see it. Dude, he wants a peace prize. I know he does. Dude, dude, Trump shouldn't get a peace prize. Dude, he's a fucking rapist, bro. Come on, man. No Nobels for the rapists, right? You know what I'm saying? No Nobel Prizes for rapists. That's my bottom line. You know what I mean? Dude, Cuomo, though, what a fucking douche, bro. Dude, this guy is so smarmy. And there it is. Cut some rug. Let's go. Let's go, baby. There it is. We did it. We completed the goal. Let's fucking go. All right. Doing a dance party. And then we got to get in this. We got to get in. We've got some Epstein victims. Did you guys see this? Did you see this, guys? Oh, shit. Donald Trump's worst nightmare. Thomas Massie. Look at this. Look at this shit, dude. Thomas Massie and 𝗏 are bringing Epstein victims to the Capitol. Dude, they're like, they are not going to just let Ghislaine Maxwell be the only voice. If she becomes a voice, they're bringing the victims. A bipartisan Massie 𝗏, Democrat and a Republican. Dude, we're going to get into this shit. Dude, this is Trump's worst nightmare. All right, first we're going to dance, though. All right, let's go, baby. The shit is good, dude. All right. Everybody get limber, baby. Dude, I'm a little tired today. I had a long fucking day, dude. Dude, that second video I made took a long time. That Epstein Island one with the butler. Long time. And it's like 90 degrees in my house. It's 84 degrees inside in the house. It's about 95, 98 here in the computer room with the fucking 2 computers. So I've been cooking and fucking tired and I'm hungry and fucking, Jenny's not here. So Jenny not being here is like super complicated. I tend to live a little fucking, I don't know, a little non-directional when fucking Jenny's not around. But here we go. You ready? You ready? Let's get into it, baby. We're giving what we got.
Been here before.
this feeling that I have now, almost a bit holy, an notion that I will make it out somehow. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you, and I can see a light. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you, and I can see a light. Things will turn out alright this time, I know.
Let's go, baby. Dude, yeah, it's a good song, isn't it? Ooh. Oh, let's go. We're gonna take a little song break while I catch my wind.
Freedom.
Yeah, baby. I have a fan on me. Ooh. 91 right there. Dude, what's the temperature right now here?
I'm just lost in my reflection. Pay attention. You never will. I will overanalyze and fall victim. But when I'm lowest, time to get to know myself. I'm still tangled, I'm not worried, 'cause I am caught up in this perfection. Pay attention, yeah, you never will. 'Cause you depend, so you always
Hold on one sec. I gotta look at something real quick.
yourself again. I'll help you clean up the mess. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. Just wanna be free, yeah, free, yeah, free, yeah, Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything?
gonna have to call my fucking credit card company. Sorry, I'm having some issues and they just fucking declined my insurance payment for whatever reason. Jesus. All right. Sorry. I had to take care of a little business there for a second. Dude. Oh, shit. All right. So this story, I think, is interesting, right? Right? This fucking Thomas Massey. Did somebody say insurance? Yeah, dude. Insurance fucking sucks, bro. Hold on one sec here. These fuckers. God damn, bro. All right. Whew. All right. Let's go. All right. So where we were at. Sorry, I'm going to wake up to an issue tomorrow with my insurance company being like, why is your card fucking, right? Why is your card fucking, you know what I'm saying? Why is your card declining us? Right? But so here we got. You ready? This is great right here. It says Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey are planning to bring survivors of abuse by convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his convicted co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell to the Capitol. Okay, Khanna and Massey announced the survivors will join them at a press conference the morning of September 3rd, the day the House returns from August recess. Now look at this, guys. See, I cannot underestimate the value of this because they left early to get away from the Epstein thing. They're coming back on September 3rd. And what are they coming back to? Their first day back. They're coming back to a press conference with the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. So not only is this thing not going away, but it's going to be like the biggest day of the entire Epstein file saga is going to be happening on the day they fucking return. The day they return to Congress, bro. This is literally Mike Johnson and fucking Donald Trump's worst nightmare. And this is great. This is the shit I'm talking about that we need to do. According to an advisory from the lawmakers, several of the survivors will speak publicly about their abuse for the first time. It's going to be new people. Attorneys for the survivors, Brad Edwards and Brittany Henderson, will also be present. The survivors deserve justice and Americans deserve transparency, Massey said. The press conference comes as Khanna and Massey are pushing legislation to compel the Trump admin to release the Epstein files, documents and materials related to the investigation. The duo was planning to file a discharge, September 3rd. The duo was planning to file a discharge petition to circumvent House leadership and force a vote on the measure, a gambit that would require 218 signatures, marking a majority of the House to succeed. Okay, those calling for more Epstein disclosure saw another blow on Monday after U.S. District Judge Paul Engelmeyer denied the DOJ's request to unseal grand jury materials. Now, here's the deal, though. You ready? The grand jury materials, those are never getting unsealed. Like, Trump did it, and Bondi, they did it just to look like they could then blame the non-disclosure on somebody other than them. But, dude, they will not release grand jury testimony while she still has an active appeal right now. They're not releasing the grand jury testimony, and there's nothing in the grand jury testimony that even has to do with what's in the files. Okay, that is like barking up the wrong tree. And so that is not going to get released. And everybody knew it wasn't going to get released. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we do need to follow that money. Okay, we need to follow the money. The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, meanwhile, is conducting another investigation of the Epstein matter. Committee Chair James Comer was compelled to issue subpoenas for documents and testimony due to a bipartisan push from his panel's members. Deadlines for those subpoenas are coming up in the next few weeks, though dates could change. The DOJ is due to send over Epstein-related documents to the committees by August 19th. Subpoena dates are also set for former AGs Bill Barr, Alberto Gonzales, and Jeff Sessions this month, with several other subpoenas, including former President Clinton and Hillary Clinton, scheduled for September and October. Now, again, they're going to try to, Comer and these guys are going to try to like turn this into a Democrat thing. All right. The move comes after the DOJ and FBI issued a joint memo last month concluding Epstein killed himself and did not keep a client list. The findings were contrary to previous comments from the Trump admin and raised concerns on both sides of the aisle. All right, let's see what we got here.
Releasing testimony from Ghislaine Maxwell, an associate of disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. She is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking underage girls. But if the testimony is released, it could give new life to a story President Trump wants to die. It's a dilemma the Hill's Brett Samuels calls Trump's Ghislaine Maxwell problem. Brett joins us to discuss. So Brett, Todd Blanche, the number 2 at DOJ, met with Maxwell over 2 days late last month at a federal prison.
Yeah, Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's personal lawyer.
Tallahassee. The White House now considering releasing audio or transcripts from the interview. What's the holdup?
Yeah, it seems to be, Drew, this sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for the White House and for President Trump, where, releasing the audio or the transcripts of this conversation that Todd Blanche had with Ghislaine Maxwell. On the one hand, it would be a show of transparency about this investigation. Apparently,
dude, Trump is so screwed.
Didn't say anything that would be harmful to Trump personally. So, there's the benefit there. It could satisfy some folks who are calling for more information, more transparency around the Epstein case. On the other hand, it comes at a time where during August recess, lawmakers are out of town. It seems like some of the uproar around the Epstein situation and the calls for more documents to be released has sort of faded into the background. So releasing the transcript and the audio could just kind of resurface that, lead to more questions about why certain audio or transcripts were released and why others weren't, and so on. So it seems like the Trump administration is sort of weighing its options here about the best path forward.
2 days seems like a long time for 2 individuals to discuss a case like this. Do we have any idea what Maxwell told Blanche?
Yeah, all we really have heard so far is that she didn't say anything that would be harmful to President Trump, that she didn't say that he did anything untoward or illegal in her presence, which is, again, pretty limited scope for what.
Yeah, again, dude, this is why we need to hear from the victims, right? Because she is never going to sell out Trump, okay? She's not. She is not going to sell out Trump. She has been friends with Trump since before Epstein. Okay, Trump was close to her dad. I mean, dude, she is like part of the con.
It was a 9-hour interview. Of course, there are skeptics of this whole setup where they point out that Todd Blanche was, of course, President Trump's personal attorney before he was nominated to be the deputy attorney general. Todd Blanche also has a relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney. So there are some conflicts there potentially that have raised some eyebrows. But, Trump, when asked about this, has said that he doesn't know what they talked about, that he hasn't spoken to Todd Blanche about it, but has also simultaneously defended Blanche and said that any conversation would be above board and that he would approve of it. So again, it's all a little vague and murky, but
and Trump is the biggest fucking liar on planet Earth.
It's just kind of fueling some of the questions around this whole setup.
Maxwell also moved to a lesser security prison after she gave this interview with Blanche, where she allegedly said cleared Trump's name, which also raises eyebrows. Will the release of this information quell the Epstein truthers out there who do constitute a very vocal faction of the base of the Republican Party? They have been pressing elected Republicans to release more information. Would this release possibly quench their thirst, or could it just lead to more demands for the release of further information? We also have all this grand jury testimony that we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah, Drew, I think, personally, I'm skeptical that this kind of interview or the transcript of this interview would actually satisfy everyone in this case. Time and again, we've seen whenever more information comes out, or whenever the FBI or Department of Justice puts out a statement, as we saw last month, where they declared that there was no client list for Jeffrey Epstein. Even though these are Trump officials putting out these announcements, it's not enough to satisfy parts of the base. They feel like that's just evidence, more evidence of a cover-up, or that something's being hidden from them, or that essentially the conspiracy just goes deeper than previously thought. So until there's some kind of smoking gun that seems to implicate someone that these folks have alleged was involved in wrongdoing with Epstein, it seems like they're just going to continue to be asking for more information and more information, even when the Trump administration has said there is certain information that they just can't disclose.
Yeah, see that? Here's the thing, guys. Here's why I'm going out on a limb here and saying Trump is screwed, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because Trump has created a situation now where he can never get back to honorable, okay? Right? Because they set it up for years. Everybody in his admin, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, they were all certain. Everybody was clamoring for this. It's the Dems, it's Hollywood, it's the Clintons, it's the left wing, right? Everything is Dems, 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 and we're going to release this, and we're going to be transparent. And they've been hiding it because it's all of them. And they built this foundational sort of trust with their crowd where they're like, this whole thing is a Democrat thing, and we're going to expose it, okay? And then they finally got to a point of where they control all of the government. And then they didn't expose it. They tried to just sweep it under the rug after making a big deal about it for months while in office. They all turned tail. And then Trump kept changing the story. Oh, there is no list. Oh, there is. Obama wrote it. Comey wrote it. It's a hoax. Well, now I remember Virginia Giuffre. Right. Every day he's sort of changing his story and flailing. And now, no matter what they do, everybody's going to think there's something left there. So now, even if he releases it, people aren't going to be satisfied with the release. You know what I'm saying? Like he's created a point of where he's just not going to be able to earn back people's trust with this, no matter what happens, right? And they don't care in a voting sense. But it's about more than that, though, guys, because when you've broken, like Trump's fan base had absolute 100% trust in him. You know what I'm saying? They did. They would believe anything he said. But now there's a seed of doubt. There is a tiny seed of doubt that now there are people in the MAGA and in certainly who voted for him and that aren't MAGA but voted for him anyway, there are seeds of doubt. His impeccable, Trump is never wrong, Trump is the only one telling the truth is no longer you know what I'm saying? It's no longer foolproof. And he doesn't know how to operate with that. He has had this luxury of being able to show up and just lie indiscriminately and everybody eats it up. But now people are I'm not sure if he's telling the truth now. And he is ill prepared for right? You know what I'm saying? He is ill prepared. He doesn't have the magic. He now goes out there and there's some people that aren't buying it. And he's like, fuck, how do I win them back? Right? And that to somebody like Trump, I think is devastating because he's not really skilled, guys. He's not really strategic. He had been riding a wave of being, like somebody said, impeccable. He had been riding a wave of like impeccable sort of connection with his fans. You know what I'm saying? And now they're like, you know, all of the shit that he says now, there's like a seed of doubt in many, many people. And that seed of doubt is enough to cause him to start making a lot of mistakes. Okay? Because now that Trump doesn't have the impeccable, easy victory, and now that he has some people that are dissatisfied with him, that like kicks up another part of Trump's personality that can't handle it when everybody's not like bending over backwards for him. And that's when he makes a lot of mistakes. This is New York City, right? Yeah. So he's going to make mistakes. And then we've seen residual things of like, you know, the right-wing influencers attacking each other on Twitter. We have Laura Loomer and MTG attacking each other. And there's going to be more, right? Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna now getting together and bringing the victims to the Capitol. That is going to create a groundswell of Donald Trump's hatred for the rhinos, right? Which is going to make him become more aggressive with the way he handles members of Congress, which will in all likelihood bruise some egos and entrench maybe a little bit more opposition against him than there would normally be. And then it just becomes a snowball, right? It just becomes a snowball, right? And hopefully that will be picking up speed right about the time we take control of the House. Right? Oh, shit. Yeah, they are scared shitless of the midterms. I mean, think about this, guys. We have never before seen a state try to redistrict their state to gerrymander it in the middle of a fucking decade just to try and win a midterm election. Like, they are shitting themselves. They are so scared. They are so scared. Yeah. Dude, you admire my positive outlook? Yeah, well, I mean, I've been through a lot, guys. You know what I'm saying? This isn't my first fucking rigmarole, you know? And I think having, you know, had an authoritarian father, I feel like I know how to, I don't know. I know what not to let the authoritarian people like sap. You know what I'm saying? Because they do. There's like dictators or people that try to take control over you. They all do a real specific thing. You know what I'm saying? They do a real specific thing where they try to sap your hope, and because it makes you an ineffective fighter. You know what I'm saying? You're not optimistic. I'm a realist too. I am a total realist. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, I need to stay as a powerful fighter, and you can't sacrifice your hope, right? They want you to think it's hopeless so you don't show up and so you don't fight back. And they all do this, whether it's Donald Trump or my authoritarian dad. That's what they try to do. They try to kill your hope and your fucking belief that you can win. So then you go inactive, right? And then that's when they're able to take advantage of you, right? So I fight by looking for weakness, right? You got to look for their weakness instead of like focusing on what you perceive as their strengths, right? Because they do, the technique they use is this. They overwhelm you and they attack 20 different things at once. So you don't know what to defend, right? And then in that feeling of hopelessness, they amplify their perceived power to where you feel like you can't do anything about it. And the thing about it is you need to ignore all of that noise and you need to stay focused on what is their weakness, right? You stay focused on their weakness and then you just hit the exploit button, right? You find their weaknesses and you just exploit. And like right now, they have some weaknesses. They have the infighting over Gaza, over money to Israel, right? Which used to be the thing that plagued the Democrats, and it destroyed us in the 2024 election. But now it's on them with Laura Loomer, with MTG, with them rectifying their America First sales pitch, with defending Israel and letting AIPAC sort of run the show. That's a real fucking problem for these middle American people. That's a conflict. That is a weak spot. We need to exploit the shit out of that. The other one is Epstein. Okay, we need to, like, every day, Epstein, until their fucking heads explode. It's a weak one, yes. The other one is the economy, right? The fact that inflation's not going down. Every company that lays people off or every company that raises a price, you exploit it, right? To the fucking rooftops, right? And in fact, we can do shit that fucks up the economy too. Don't travel. Right? Don't go on vacation. Don't buy any big purchases. Don't buy a new car. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, take all your discretionary spending and put it on hold for a couple of years. I mean, there's a lot of shit we can do, guys. And then we exploit everything that happens. Oh my God, tourism is down. Trump. Oh, the rabbits have warts on their faces. Trump. Right? And you just keep hitting those weak spots. Just weak spot after weak spot. You just hit the fucking button and until they're driving themselves crazy. Dude. And that's key. That is key. So that's kind of how I operate. I just try to keep my eye on what is their weak spot and how can we exploit it, right? And it does work. It does work. Boycotts are good. You know, our money, how we spend our money is good, is a good thing. I'm basically taking no trips. I'm taking one trip to LA. Okay. I'm taking one trip to LA in September to go see Oasis. And then I am taking one trip in November to around Thanksgiving to go to the beach with Jenny. And that will be it for my travel for non-local travel for 2025, unless if the Mariners go to the playoffs and they play a game in New York City, either against the Mets or the Yankees, I will go to New York and see my kid and go to a playoff game. I will do that if that happens. But other than that, I'm not doing shit, right? I'm not going to any Raiders games this year. I'm fucking, you know, I am like keeping everything on the DL. But this Epstein thing is a big weakness of theirs. And again, though, guys, I encourage you. You ready? Here's what I want to encourage. Okay, I want to encourage you guys to think about this. Okay, so what I want you to think about is I want you to think about Donald Trump's administration in a brand new way, and MAGA too. So what it is we're going to think about MAGA and Trump, not as if we do something, we're going to get something from MAGA. Okay, so you don't take an action thinking MAGA is going to change their vote, or MAGA is going to abandon Trump, or Trump is going to fucking do the right thing, right? We don't look at that. We're never looking at like them doing something we want them to do or them changing in a positive way, because we know that's unlikely. But what the goal is here, guys, is for them to do things that hurt themselves. Okay? That's the goal. The goal is for us to infect the MAGA machine so they make mistakes. Okay? Because when you're flustered, when you're grasping, you fuck up. You make mistakes. You overreach, you underreach, you step on your own people, you reverse course and then look like an idiot. So the thing is we don't exploit a rift in MAGA thinking we're going to win MTG to our side. We exploit the rift in MAGA so they eat each other's faces. Okay, we exploit the Epstein thing, not so Trump goes to jail, but so Trump gets so flustered that he overreaches in other areas and damages his reputation and makes mistakes and shoots himself in the foot. Yes, step on a rake. Exactly. So the goal is we don't need to extract anything from MAGA. We just need to set up enough landmines that they go and kill each other. They go and tear their own fucking movement down. And that, I think, is entirely possible. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I mean, that's how you do it. If you have an authoritarian father too, you can provoke him emotionally to the point of him fucking up his own life. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You get them so like spun out that they start fucking up their own shit. And then it's like, you don't even have to fight back. They're their own worst enemies. And you know what I mean? And that, I think, is the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Let them destroy their own agenda, right? Let them destroy their own agenda. They're arrogant, they're weak, they're overextended, and you know what else, guys? They're not very talented. That's the thing to remember. They're not very good at what they do, man. Okay? They're not good leaders. They're not good managers of like large numbers of people. They're not good at like keeping people's egos in check, right? They are really, really fucking like, they're careless. They're sloppy. They're entitled. They're predictable. Yes. And they tend to take the easiest route to like, right? If they're, instead of them trying to fix the problem, they just try to get the problem off of themselves. And that causes more problems, right? So what you can do is you just haunt them, okay? You find the things that that fluster them, and then you make sure that thing is in front of their faces every fucking minute of the day, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what you do, right? You know, it's like that lit song, right? I am my own worst enemy. You know? And yeah, man, it fucking works, dude. It really does. It really works. I mean, the greatest way to bring a narcissist down is to let the narcissist destroy themselves. Right? It is how you do it, man. The people with those massive egos and that massive narcissism, like once you fucking get them working against themselves, dude, they fucking crumble, bro. And I know we can win this. We need someone to show how it's done. I mean, there's a lot of people that are working, guys. There are a lot of people that are doing good right now for the Democrats. And there's some Republicans too. Obviously, Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna with this victims thing are doing good. The Texas Democrats creating a national headlines about gerrymandering and the chaos of Trump, you know, extracting Greg Abbott and Jasmine Crockett. They're taking her seat, which is going to elevate her. Maybe she wins another seat. Maybe she shoots her, builds her profile in another way. You have J.B. Pritzker being a stand-in between those Texas Democrats and the FBI. And he's a very good spokesperson when he goes on the media calling out Trump. The guy is unflappable. He's not afraid of Trump. Same with Gavin Newsom, right? Gavin Newsom is not afraid of Trump, and he knows how to play that media game. He knows how to do it really well. Both of those guys know how to make Trump go ape shit and throw things at the wall, right? Then you have people that are more moderate influences, guys like Jon Ossoff, that are well-spoken, but they're not aggressive sort of fighters, but they're reasonable people that are out there reasoning with voters. And Bernie is out there sort of building the class warfare thing, right? You know, they've levied attacks at AOC and shit like that. Remember the threats with ICE, and nothing came of that. So there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of good shit right now happening. I think what's hard is we do need to win the House. Okay. We need to win the House in 2026. And then we need to, after we win the House, we need to start thinking about who's going to be running for president. You know, they're dude, you know what I'm saying? So we'll fucking see, right? But again, we don't know. It's going to be wide open, boss. It's going to be wide open. And you know, dude, Jon Stewart, dude, I like Jon Stewart. You know, there may be somebody even new to the mix that we haven't heard of by then. Yeah, Bernie's not going to run. Bernie's too old. I'm curious who Bernie's going to pass the torch to, right? I'm very curious about Bernie and the torch passing. But yeah, I got a lot of fight in me, boss. You know what I'm saying? But dude, I think we got a lot of fight in us. Yeah, dude, Bernie's just too old, dude. So what is this? Think we need some new young people? Yeah, you should get in on it. You should run for this shit. I want to see what this article is. This was, California Governor Gavin Newsom says the state will draw new electoral maps after Donald Trump missed a deadline on Tuesday night in an ongoing redistricting battle between Democratic and Republican states. Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House. Big press conference this week with powerful Dems and Gavin Newsom, your favorite governor, that will be devastating for Maga. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Dude, he's starting to write these tweets in Donald Trump's voice, dude. And it's so funny. Oh my God, dude. It is like his tweets from he's doing them from his governor's office. Dude, it's Governor Newsom's press office. Oh shit, dude. So good, dude. That will be your favorite governor. That will be devastating for MAGA. Thank you for your attention to this matter. GN Gavin Newsom just mocking him. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dude, they will end the Trump presidency. So good, dude. Oh, fuck, bro. I see the M dashes and I think they're just having ChatGPT write these. Right? They are. Whenever you see an M dash like that, I'm pretty sure they're having AI write it. Right? But whoever is curating this and guiding the AI to write these things is a fucking genius. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. But they're doing really good ones. Okay? That shit is amazing. That shit is amazing. That shit is gonna fucking cause him to have a heart attack. So the Texas did vote today. Their state Senate passed their new map, but the quorum is broken. So everybody today was like, ooh, it passed the state Senate. I saw this on right-wing media today. You may have noticed this, right? Look at this shit. You ready? So look at this. Let me just show you these right-wingers, how desperate they are. Let's go to some asshole like Nick Sortor, okay? He's one of the biggest fucking clown douche pieces of shit. So look at what he says today. He says, Republicans win. Texas House Democrats will now be returning to Texas, right? Like, I don't know about that, right? I don't know what he's saying there, but he says, oh, here's what he said. He says the Texas Senate has passed the new House maps. Okay, the Dems are big mad. It says now all it needs is House approval, okay, and they'll pick up 5 seats. But the House has a quorum breaking, right? And so he's saying this breaking, but like I'm not seeing this, that they're saying Democrats cave again, and they have some picture of fucking people. I have not seen that the Dems are coming back. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about there. I am not seeing an indication that the Dems are coming back to vote on this, but right, deadline for Dems to return. All right, let's see what he says.
Donald Trump threatened to arrest us. Greg Abbott threatened to remove us from our duly elected positions in the Texas legislature. Ken Paxton posted a tweet asking his followers to, quote, hunt us down. And then this week, we received a bomb threat at the hotel where we're staying. We evacuated, and thanks to local law enforcement, my colleagues and I are safe. And we do have one message, which is that we will not be deterred.
Good.
Because this is a lot bigger than us. It's a lot bigger than any one politician or any one political party.
Yeah, good. You shouldn't be deterred. Fuck these clowns. Okay? All right, let's see here.
But when you're winning in Illinois, you're happy to play by these rules.
Again, I've condemned all gerrymandering across the country. And in fact, when Democrats had a majority in Congress, they voted to ban gerrymandering in every state, red states and blue states. Do you know how many Republican members of Congress joined them in that effort?
0.
Which one? I'm sorry. Which state did you just refer to?
I'm asking, do you know how many Republicans joined Democrats in the U.S. Congress to ban gerrymandering? All the Democrats voted for it. 0 Republicans voted for it.
0.
It's an odd.
You can spare me the both sides rhetoric. It's clearly one side that is trying to rig the rules in the middle of the game. This is like two football teams coming out of the locker room at halftime, and the team that's ahead says they want to change the rules for the second half so they can win the game. All of us would be throwing food at the TV if that happened. We don't accept cheating in our politics. We don't accept cheating in our relationships. We shouldn't accept cheating in our elections.
Yeah, dude, did you see this guy, though? When he said, this host, when he said how many Republicans, when the Democrats tried to pass legislation, H.R. 1, okay, to end gerrymandering across the entire U.S., no more gerrymandering nationally, okay, let's pass this. How many Republicans joined them? And he's like, what state? Huh? What? I didn't hear the question. Yeah, it was 0. 0 fucking Republicans have joined this. Republicans have lived by gerrymandering. So Democrats have done some gerrymandering in spots as well. But dude, they're not going to change their maps in the middle of a fucking election. They're not going to change their maps in the Democrats have never changed their maps except after the census, like everybody does. Every time there's a census, there's reapportionment. The number of representatives change. You redraw your maps. It happens once a fucking decade, like 2021, 2022, 2031, 2032, right? 2010, 2011, 2012. Okay? It's like real simple. You don't go 2015, 2016, we're going to redraw the maps because we're upset that we might lose an election. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. All right. But yeah, this guy's a fucking clown. He's trying to both sides it. Oh, you gerrymandered Illinois. It's like, yeah, no shit. Illinois got gerrymandered because you've been gerrymandering every fucking state, bro. You have Wisconsin. That's a 50-50 state that had like 8 fucking Republicans and 2 goddamn Democrats. So of course we had to do some gerrymandering when you're doing that shit. The same with Ohio. It's like 55-45, but it's 80% fucking Republicans with your gerrymandering. Like, come on, you fucking clown. Jesus.
Politics. We don't accept cheating in our relationships. We shouldn't accept cheating in our elections.
Dude, did you see that, though? The other dig at Trump there. We don't accept cheating in politics. We don't accept cheating in our relationships. We don't accept cheating in the elections. That is a beautiful dig at Donald Trump, too, because yes, dude, he cheats on his wives. He cheats on his business partners. He cheated his investors in the Taj Mahal. He cheated in fucking elections by hiding shit and paying catch and kill stories and covering shit up, right? The guy does nothing but cheat. He cheats with his money. He cheats with his crypto. He cheats in golf. Yes, everything's a cheat.
elections.
You've done the same thing as us, and we are going to, by the way, if you do it, we're going to ratchet it up even more, in the words of Gavin Newsom.
My party has never gerrymandered in the middle of the decade at the request of the President of the United States, nor would we. The only way this is going to happen in blue states is if Texas executes this power grab. You mentioned Massachusetts. Right. Do you know the party of the governor that signed that map into law? He was a Republican. It was a Republican governor that signed that map into law. So I just want to be clear with our facts, and I don't want to muddy the waters. All of us, whether we're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, we should stand up to politicians who don't want to face accountability at the ballot box. That's exactly what's happening here. And I asked you, if Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
I'm getting wrapped on time.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to answer that question. I'm getting wrapped on time. Dude, the Obama mic drop. I'm getting wrapped on time. AKA, I've got a basket over here with my ass in it that you just fucking handed to me. So now I'm going to go, like, get out of this interview, like, ASAP.
I'm enjoying this conversation. I want to let it go on, and I apologize. It's such is the nature of cable television.
Oh, yeah, such is the nature of cable television that I have my fucking secretary is holding up the get off the air sign. Oh, Lord, dude. Isn't that amazing? This shit is fucking incredible,
But when you're winning in
bro.
Illinois, you're happy to play by these rules.
Again, I've condemned all gerrymandering across the country. And in fact, when Democrats had a majority in Congress, they voted to ban gerrymandering in every state, red states and blue states. Do you know how many Republican members of Congress joined them in that effort?
Which one? I'm sorry. Which state did you just refer to?
I'm asking, do you know how many Republicans joined Democrats in the U.S. Congress to ban gerrymandering? All the Democrats voted for it. 0 Republicans voted for it. 0.
It's an odd.
So
it's an odd.
You can spare me the both sides rhetoric. It's clearly one side that is trying to rig the rules in the middle of the game. This is like 2 football teams coming out of the locker room at halftime, and the team that's ahead says they want to change the rules for the second half so they can win the game. All of us would be throwing food at the TV if that happened. We don't accept cheating in our politics. We don't accept cheating in our relationships. We shouldn't accept cheating in our elections.
You've done the same thing as us, and we are going to, by the way, if you do it, we're going to ratchet it up even more, in the words of Gavin Newsom.
My party has never gerrymandered in the middle of the decade at the request of the President of the United States, nor would we.
Nor would we. That's a big one right there, guys. Is the Democrats have never gerrymandered maps in the middle of the decade at the request of the president, and the Democrats never would if we had a fucking president asking us to gerrymander the maps in the middle of the decade. We wouldn't do it. We would be like, fuck no, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The only way this is going to happen in blue states is if Texas executes this power grab. You mentioned Massachusetts. Do you know the party of the governor that signed that map into law? He was a Republican. It was a Republican governor that signed that map into law. So I just want to be clear with our facts, and I don't want to muddy the waters.
Look at
all
his
of us,
face!
whether we're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, we should.
Dude, look at his face, bro. Oh, dude. Look at his face, dude. He looks like a group of Girl Scouts just lined up, and each one kicked him in the fucking nuts with some hiking boots on, bro. Just fucking, oh. He's like, how many Girl Scouts left? Oh, there's 9 more girls. Oh, dude, Jesus.
Should stand up to politicians who don't want to face accountability at the ballot box. That's exactly what's happening here. And I asked you, if Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
I'm getting wrapped on time. I'm enjoying this conversation. I want to let it go on, and I apologize. That's such is the nature of cable television.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that shit is fucking brilliant, bro. Dude, Girl Scouts in hiking boots. Do not underestimate it. Okay? But so the thing about this is if we I believe if there is a gerrymandering, I believe if this gerrymandering war does start, it's going to end up in the benefit of the Democrats. Okay. The problem is the Republicans are so gerrymandered. There's not really a lot that they can do, you know, and, you know, obviously I know they can squeeze a little more in Illinois. They can do New York, although it's going to be not right away. That will be like after the House thing. California, I think, can pull like 9 seats. I think Wisconsin could eke out a couple seats. And in fact, their map should be changing because of that Supreme Court win that Elon tried to like fund, but he lost. I think there are probably some other seats to be had in maybe in the Northeast. I think Oregon could probably eke out a seat. Washington could maybe eke out a couple of seats. I mean, it sucks though, because when you do that, you're removing legislators. Like, it's really dirty. It's dirty to do. It's hard enough to do it after the census, but that's the time you do it, when reapportionment happens. But you know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? And so, you know, we'll see what happens. But we have some people fighting. Maryland. Yeah. I mean, they don't necessarily have a lot of options. And what's more though, guys, is it's a crapshoot, because you don't know how people are going to react. Okay? I mean, think about this, guys. If you know, when maps get changed and people's representatives get changed, or they see district redrawing just for Donald Trump in the middle of the fucking, you know, the decade and shit, and they realize, they're actually doing this just to try and like cheat. You don't know how the voters in your state are going to react. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how the voters in the state are going to react, right? Wisconsin Supreme Court. Yeah, well, they just had that win. Like, the Wisconsin Supreme Court is now a liberal Supreme Court. So they are going to redraw the Wisconsin maps, not necessarily to gerrymander them, but to ungerrymander, like I said, the way the Republicans have gerrymandered the shit out of Wisconsin. Like, I think Wisconsin's going to pick up 2 seats just from regular, like, removing the gerrymandering that the Republicans have had in place for so long. So that's going to happen, right? That's not even, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And again, like, you know, I think desperate times call for desperate measures, and people realize that this may be the only way we can take these guys on, you know? So we'll see how it works out. Okay. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, no, this is not normal, but we also, though, we got to fight fire with fire. Like, I'm tired of fucking standing by. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what is the fucking new homeless policy? Dude, what is this? Trump admin has announced plans to address homelessness by enforcing existing laws, shelter or treatment services with the threat of fines or jail time to those who refuse. All right. Will force homeless into shelters or treatment. So now they're starting with the forced movement of the homeless into shelters or treatment. And next up will be fucking, next up. Dude, next up will be the work camps, right? Dude, they're so dumb, bro. Forced labor camps? I know, dude. I know. Yeah, again, though, doesn't matter, guys. September 3rd, we're going to hear from some victims. Okay, September 3rd, we're going to have some Epstein victims. Dude, let's see. There's a new poll. Dude. Oh, shit, bro. This is crazy. Dude, to be clear, the scandals are Cuomo on the Epstein list, pro bono legal work for Netanyahu, essayed 13 women, killed 12,000 grandparents. Mamdani pays $2,300 for a one-bedroom apartment. Oh, shit, dude. That is brutal. Dude. Oh, that's brutal. Dude, yeah. Dude, Cuomo is fucking... What a fucking degenerate. Dude, oh my God, dude. Cuomo, I mean, at this point, guys, I think what it is just watching Cuomo, right? Watching Cuomo get fucking destroyed is going to be beautiful, right? Watching Cuomo get destroyed is going to be beautiful, right? Dude, they keep, like, they're clinging to this, guys. They're clinging to the Democratic Party having, like, a low favorability rating. But, dude, of course we do, right? Everybody wants the Democrats to walk up to MAGA people and just fucking punch them right on the chin. You know what I'm saying? Like, this favorability rating would go up if a Democratic rep put Trump in a pine box. The Dem Party rating would probably go sky high. And obviously that's not going to happen, right? So the Democratic rating is going to be low, but that doesn't mean we're not going to show up and knock these guys out of office, right? But look at what they're clinging to, right? You know, but you know what's crazy though? Here's what's crazy about this is if the Supreme Court overturns, you ready for this, guys? And here's something to remember. If the Supreme Court overturns 𝗙𝗡𝗍𝗆, what's wild about it is I found out last night in my research, Oregon will be illegal. Same-sex marriage will become illegal automatically if 𝗙𝗡𝗆 gets overturned. Why? Because for whatever reason, in 2004, Oregon passed a constitutional amendment that defined marriage. A whole bunch of legislatures across the country did this. And so what happens is if 𝗙𝗡𝗆 gets fucking turned, not even red states, a whole bunch of states are going to automatically default to gay marriage being illegal, right? Which is going to have a massive impact on independent voters. It's going to have a massive impact on, like, holy shit, right? You know how many people in how many states that aren't red? We're a fucking blue state. And just like that, gay marriage will become illegal. Isn't that crazy? Dude, that's nuts. And that'll happen the minute 𝗙𝗡𝗆 gets clipped. So this could have catastrophic, like, across, like, outside of party lines, you know? I mean, it won't get overturned. Oh, they're going to overturn it. I bet you anything they're going to overturn it. Dude, Uncle F, let's go, baby. Let's go, dude. Dude, yeah, he is. Dude, thank you so much, Uncle Fatty. Appreciate you, boss. Dude, Stephen Miller is, like, so gnarly. Yeah, dude, this is gonna, like, again. Yeah, this is gonna be a thing. And Johnny, you're not wrong. Okay, you're not wrong, because abortion, I'll be honest with you, the Dems played a risky game. Okay, they used abortion to run on it, thinking it was never going to be overturned. And so they left it as settled law so they could always run on protecting it. And they took a gamble and then they fucking lost that gamble big time. And hopefully they don't make that mistake anymore, right? I think they're kind of paying a lot of price for running on things as opposed to fixing them. There is a reckoning happening with the Democrats right now, as you can see by those low approval ratings. And you know, that I think that's healthy. Maybe it's about time the fucking party gets, you know, face checked a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I mean, we have a religion problem in America. Let's be honest, guys. Okay? We do. We have a fucking religion problem in this country. All right? We do, man. We have a big, big religion problem in this country. You know? But holy shnikes, guys. We are like, dude, we are fucking, this is just some good shit. All right? Dude. Right here, too. Look at that, dude. National debt is $37 trillion. And look at this. Look at what Thomas Massey is doing, guys. This is Thomas Massey talking about the Republicans' bill. Thanks to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the debt just officially passed the $37 trillion mark. He's blaming this on the Republicans, dude. On his own party, bro. That is fucking brutal for Trump. Dude, Trump does not like this, boss. You know what I'm saying? Trump is not happy about this. 37 trillion. And it's going to blow up. It's going to go even higher with Trump shit. The shit ain't coming down, dude. Sorry, but his little GoFundMe to fucking, you know, tariffs, dude, collecting 100 billion in tariffs ain't going to do shit for $37 trillion debt. Yeah, it is an unfathomably large number. And you know what's fucked up about it, guys? It was all wasted. It was money wasted bailing out people in the financial crisis. It was money wasted on 20 years of war in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's money wasted on fucking funding Israel to fucking kill people in the Middle East. It's money wasted on fucking, right? On endless amounts of disaster relief and no money on, you know, climate change. You know what I'm saying? Just constant waste of fucking money on spending money on all the wrong things. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Fucking brutal. Brutal. Somebody's got that money? Dude. Yeah. Dude, this is crazy, dude. Massey just lost his wife to cancer. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's fucking having having some realization here, right? And in January, look at this. In January 2020, the CBO estimated the debt wouldn't surpass 37 trillion until 2030. And here we are. We're already there. Okay, Trump added almost 8 trillion. Okay, he's added 3 trillion this term alone. It's crazy. And look at this, right? National debt just hit 37 trillion. A bill our kids can't afford to pay. Look at Nancy Mace, dude. She gets the craziest community notes. Rep Mace voted yes on HR 1, which is estimated to increase the national debt by 4.5 trillion. Dude, she gets fucking like community noted in the most brutal way. Oh my God, dude. Oh shit. This is amazing, dude. Oh my God, dude. Damian Toll just fucking ratioed her Oh, hard ratio. I wonder how that happened. Oh, dude. Too good. Dude, brutal. Script being followed, Project 2025 for sure, guys. It is. Oh, man. Dude, she gets so brutalized. I mean, I don't know how we pay that shit down, guys. Like, we need to significantly increase the taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we need to raise like $5 trillion a year on top of what we're doing, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Do we collect from corporations? Let's look at how much taxes we collect from corporations. All right, so the U.S. federal government collected $500 billion from corporate income taxes. So if we were to, right? So if we were to multiply the corporate income tax by 3, that would be 1.5 trillion. Okay, so that would essentially be an extra trillion. You know what I'm saying? If we tripled the fucking the corporate income taxes. So I'd be curious how much the fucking top 1%. So the top 1% paid $800 billion. Okay. So that means if we tripled their taxes, that would be, so if we tripled the corporate tax and the tax on the top 1% only, we would raise $3 trillion a year. Okay. And then in 10 years, we could have a significant, right? 2.5. Yeah. But it would also be fucking, it would be $1 trillion from the other people as well, right? So we triple their tax, it would be 2.5, which would be like 1.8, 2. So it'd be almost 3 trillion, but with corporations and the top 1%. So that over 10 years is a significant amount of the debt paid down. Okay. 10 years of those taxes, of tripling the income tax for the top 1% and for the corporations for only 10 years. And our debt would be in check. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, that's so doable, dude. 10 years. It's nothing. It's a blip, dude. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I mean, if somebody came to me and said, we can triple your taxes for 10 years and America will be out of debt, I would be like, triple my taxes. Okay? Like, come on, man. It's like a little bit of giving. You know, the top 1% who would still be fine. They would still have more money than they would know what to do with. The same with these corporations. Dude, it would be easy peasy, bro. Right? That's it. 10 years, debt, boom, done. Right? You know what I'm saying? The local gay mafia don't like who? Don't like Nancy Mace? Is that who you're talking about? This is the Project 2025 tracker. I don't know. I don't know what this is. All this shit is completed. Dude, this is breaking my brain. Right? Dude, they've already done most of this shit. Dude, this is crazy. Dude, this is like a brain breaker. I'm gonna have to look at that off stream sometime and try to fucking try to process that. Dude, I don't know about you. I look at that and I just felt like instantly overwhelmed. Dude, there's a lot of fucking shit to process there. Don't let Anna see that. Dude, speaking of Anna, can we go watch some Anna for a minute? Can we go 30 minutes of Anna before I fucking go do this shit? Because I heard she was like freaking out on Lindy Lee, and I wanna see 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶 and Lindy Lee clash. Dude, that's always good for a fucking.
But first, we're gonna
𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶 and Lindy Lee. Dude, I love it when they fight, right? Because Lindy Lee is like so dumb. Okay, she's dumb, and she's also like, she's just changing to grift. So she's not rooted in any real moral center. So it's impossible for her to take a stand and defend it, right? You know what I mean? Like people who aren't rooted in some type of like, you know, like philosophical center, if they don't have a philosophical sort of platform that they're rooting their belief system in, they can't defend it, right? They're just, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, dude, get your popcorn. Everybody get your popcorn ready. We're going to have a little candy time. This is going to be a little political cotton candy here to finish off the stream. Do we have a time? Do we have a time? I'm going to get some water. Do we have a time code for the fight? Oh, it looks like it happens right about the 12-minute mark. Or maybe they go right into it. All right, we're going to, oh, yeah, no, the whole thing must come in. All right, so let me just say, I'm assuming, I'm going to assume right here that 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶, I know, like, I fucking harsh on her a lot, but I'm going to assume that she and I are on the same side in this particular argument, which is that third country deportations are bullshit, okay? And what is a third country deportation? That is when a country doesn't play ball with the U.S., okay? So what happens is if you have a country, I'm going to use a random one, but say it's like Honduras, okay? If Honduras has a policy that, you know what? If some of our people went to America and are working over there, we're not going to take them back, okay? Like they left here. They don't want to be here. They went to America. We're not taking them back. We're not processing your deportation. So then what the U.S. wants to do is they say, oh, okay, well, if you won't take them back, we're going to just give them to a different country, right? Like El Salvador that puts them in 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗏, or some other country that will take them and then do whatever with them. But dude, third country deportations are human fucking trafficking, guys. You're not allowed to just give people to some random country just like as a punishment. It's fucking bullshit. It's inhumane. You don't even know if they're going to speak the language. You don't know if that country is safe for them. You don't know why they left. And like this idea that you can just plant them in some willing country that's probably going to use them in some toxic way is fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So like, dude, she damn well better be against this shit. She said she supported what Trump said about immigration. Fuck her. She supported what Trump said. Dude, Trump said poisoning the blood, vermin. like they're all rapists and murderers. Like, fuck her supporting Donald Trump. Dude, Anna, dude, she needs a fucking 9-iron, bro. Oh! All right, I'm gonna go get some water. Yeah, no, the music was on low, actually. It's not from the headphones. The music was on low. It should, you know what I should do? Hold on, let me fix that. Let me try something here. Let me do an experiment with something here. All right, let's see if this is better. All right, you ready? I want to try some here.
It's all about who. Do you need anything like I need you?
All right, let me see. Tell me how the music is here. You ready? Is this better? Is that quiet, but you can hear it? How's that level? For quiet music, you can hear me talking, but you can still kind of hear the music. It's good for background? Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, it is too quiet, but if you wanted to hear me talk, it's still like listenable, right? Yeah, I'll be able to hear it too. I'll be able to listen to this because I'm recording the stream right now. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hello, hello, hello. It used to be -40. Now it's like -10, but it's not letting me, or -29, but it's not letting me change the name, which is weird. I wonder if it's because the thing is in use, right? It might be because it's in use. Right? Using OBS, this is on the Stream Deck, right? All that shit's on the Stream Deck. Let's go, baby. It's a good break volume. Yeah, so like when I go on break, I'll actually leave the music like this. Dude, Tony, let's go, baby. Right? This is what it would be if we were listening to music, right? And then, but the other is to have a volume where I can talk, right? Because with this, you can't really hear me, right? Oh, the streaming software is OBS Studio, right? But here you can still kind of hear the music and you can hear my voice. Let's go. There we go. There we go. Let's go, people. I'd rather be found. All right, you ready? Now we're going to nip it in the bud, though. There we go. We're going to kill that real quick. And now we're going to go to Elon Punch. Oh, dude, I have to set up the Elon Punch. Thank you, Bradshaw. I have to set that up, dude. That was our little bit thing. And now that thing's not there anymore. Thank you, Bradshaw, for the reminder. I will set that up. And I should make it so you can trigger Elon for like $1 or something. Right? You can trigger Trump explosion or Elon right? Dude, let's go. Where do you buy my music? So if you want to, if you want to check out the music, you go here. Hold on. It's different. The stuff you hear here is not on any of the streaming services currently, right? But if you want to check out some of my music that is on the streaming services, and if you do want to scope that out, you can go here. All right. You can go look at the Wanteds, which is, you know, I have a couple records on the streaming services there that you can check out. All right. 2 albums. Let Go Afterglow is a solo album, and Failure Looks So Good was a 3-man band version of the Wanteds. They're both very good. All right. They're both very, very good. Good shit. All right. Good shit, boss. Put that in the description. Yes. Good idea, Bradshaw. Good idea. I will do that. Drop me a note in Discord reminding me about that. description and Elon punch, because I have a great emote for the Elon punch that that's a really good emote. Yeah, we'll get that going. Thank you, Bradshaw. Make sure to ping me on it too. Your husband has a CD. Oh, let's go. I love it. What I play here is very good. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to think about like adding that. Although I'll have to think about adding it to streaming services or like, you know, making it so you can purchase it digitally or something, you know? But all right, you ready? Let's get a little bit of Anna here. All right, we have about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to go eat some Taco Bell and make some videos. Dude, what a great stream. Tonight's stream was unusual. A little bit of politics, a little bit of pep talk, right? Giving you guys this sort of pep talk of like, don't let the authoritarianism get to you. We got a lot of years left, guys. We got a couple years left, but we got to win next year. That's what we got to do, man. We got to win this house fucking, damn, we got to win next year. All right. It's going to be a big election. I will keep up the work, guys. I am tireless. I am feisty and I don't give a shit, bro. So I'm a good warrior to have in these types of situations because I don't run out of energy and I don't give a shit. Okay. I am not afraid of like, you know, gut-wrenching pain. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. All right, here we go.
We're going to be talking about a major shift in U.S. immigration enforcement. Third country deportation. So instead of sending immigrants back to their home countries, the U.S. is now transferring them to some nations with no prior connection to them under legally sanctioned deals. So, for example, in March 2025, the United States deported 238 Venezuelan nationals to El Salvador, where many were detained at the 𝗙cie𝗶𝗾 mega prison. So these individuals, Venezuela refused to take them back, I guess because they're such bad guys. Lindy's going to break that down for us.
No, that's not always the case. Venezuela is just not taking people who left their country back at all. It's not like, ooh, they were so terrible, right? I mean, a lot of the people that went to 𝗙cie𝗶𝗾 didn't even have criminal records. They had done nothing wrong. One of them was a gay barber, for Christ's sake.
Migrants from Vietnam, Jamaica, Cuba, Yemen, and Laos have been deported to a country in southern Africa. I've never even heard of this country, called Eswatini. They're being held in solitary confinement under a bilateral agreement.
Jesus, dude. Did you hear that? They're fucking people that were deported to an African country where they're being held in solitary confinement. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, bro, what the fuck, dude?
Others, including men from Nigeria and I don't even know how to pronounce this one, Eritrea, were sent to South Sudan under a deal with minimal public disclosure. Now,
dude, this is such bullshit. It's human trafficking. These people are being treated abusively. Our karma as a nation is just getting fucked, bro. Dude, if Anna talks about that fucking trendy Aragua, whatever, that apartment building takeover again, dude, I'm going to burn her to the ground. And for someone asking, this is Jillian Michaels. Okay, she was a Democrat until gay marriage became legal and she got rich via Hollywood. Then she became a red pillar. And now she's PBD's bitch, right? PBD's bitch.
Supreme Court cleared this practice in June 2025, allowing the U.S. to proceed without extensive notice or hearings when home countries block repudiation. So in other words, when Venezuela says thanks but no thanks. All right, now U.S. officials say the policy is legal and necessary. Critics argue it risks violating due process and international norms. It does sound a bit barbaric.
Dude, a bit barbaric. Jillian, you dumb bitch. Jillian, a bit barbaric? Think about this. You're here, you're in America, you're working, you're sending some money home to family in Venezuela. You get deported. The government says, we're not taking deportees back. So they sell you to solitary confinement in Africa. They're monetizing you. The American government is. You think that's a bit barbaric? Really? It's not even a criminal offense. It's a paperwork violation to be undocumented in America. So you deserve solitary confinement indefinitely in an African country you've never been to? Dude, it's beyond barbaric. It's a war crime. Okay? The people perpetrating this shit from America need to go to prison for doing this to human beings.
Lindy, is it? Lay this out for me. It just like a 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆 prison when you're not from El Salvador seems a bit.
Well, first of all, this has happened before in American history. We had Remain in Mexico, and it substantially reduced the number of
It's the same concept.
It's the same
I
concept.
get it. I should have known that. Okay, of course.
But it's just in a different repackaging. It's framed a different way. But this...
It's not Remain in Mexico, because Remain in Mexico, people were in Mexico and they were coming into America, okay? And Remain in Mexico was keeping them where they already were. Okay, and it wasn't putting them in fucking prison. You know what I mean? Like, dude, she's so disingenuous. And that's the ugliest fucking dress I've ever seen on her. Please, stop wearing this dress. You know what I mean? Like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Jesus.
Remain in Mexico policy, which, by the way, the Biden administration likes so much, they continued, went from reduced border crossing.
We knew that we'd get Biden in there. Okay, let's just clarify Remain in Mexico. Okay, so the Remain in Mexico policy, okay, was an immigration protocol affecting immigration across the border with Mexico. All right, and it requires migrants seeking asylum to remain in Mexico until their court date. Okay, so the migrants are in Mexico. They're coming to the border seeking asylum. And the U.S. says, okay, here's your court date, but you have to stay in Mexico where you are currently until your court date. That is Remain in Mexico. And it was ended by the Biden administration in 2022, okay? And then a federal judge blocked the Biden administration from ending it. Okay, so now the thing is first off, Remain in Mexico was bad, because while they were remaining in Mexico, something could happen to them. Okay, so it was not great on a human rights perspective, because it did leave them vulnerable if there were people there that wanted to take advantage of them because they weren't in their home country. But it wasn't actively removing them to a country that they've never been to, because they were in Mexico while they were seeking asylum. So they at least were not being moved and taken somewhere completely out of the way. And again, Biden ended this, and the only reason it didn't stay ended was because a federal judge blocked him from ending the program. So Lindy here is lying. She's misrepresenting Remain in Mexico, and she's offending our sensibilities because she's just being a PBD fucking taint-sniffing loser, you know, on top of like being an ignorant fucking person with no fucking moral center whatsoever. And yes, they were remaining on the same continent in a country that they were currently in of their own volition.
From 144,000 in May 2019 to under 40,000 by late 2020, okay? So that's a substantial decrease. And just to put it into perspective, these are people that their own home countries don't want them. They don't want to take them back in. They don't want to repatriate them. So a lot of, you mentioned the Venezuelans, some of them were literal rapists and murderers and hardened criminals that they're...
See, this is not accurate. Okay, this that they were rapists and hardened criminals, and we should note that when these countries, don't take people back, it's usually not happening because they're really bad people. It's just some of these countries have a policy of not receiving deported people. They believe if the people fucking immigrate to the U.S. seeking asylum or they want to go work in the U.S., they should be able to do that. And so they're not going to bring them back to fucking Venezuela or Honduras if the people don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't want to participate in removal of people. You know what I mean? Because they want, if people want to come to America, they want that to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
home countries don't want. And I want to stress, as an immigrant myself, this is not about deterring legal immigration. It's not about saying we don't want immigrants.
That's bullshit because Remain in Mexico, the policy she brought up was for asylum seekers. So it was people that were seeking it legally and it was fucking them over while they were doing it.
In this country, it's about saying we don't want rapists. We don't want criminals that they're whose own home countries don't want. And this is a humane process. The third countries have been carefully vetted, and they are financially incentivized to make sure that we respect international laws, that we treat everyone well. That is
like a mega prison 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆. That's my only concern, right? And then I heard about some Venezuelan makeup artist, which I can't actually get.
I'm not sure if that's under that. That's the same structure. I'm not sure that he was repatriated under the.
Dude, Lindy Lee needs a fucking 9-iron, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dude, a fucking, bro. 9-iron.
Weigh in a little bit.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Yeah, so when it comes to the Remain in Mexico policy, that actually was a pretty good policy. Biden actually did end it, and that was one of the problems I had with the Biden administration's immigration policies.
He let it go on for a while.
He let it go on for a little bit, and then he decided to end it following pressure from a portion of his base that wanted to, basically have a complete 180 from Trump's first term as it pertains to immigration. But Remain in Mexico was about still considering the asylum claims of individuals who were seeking asylum in the United States. In this case, there are asylum seekers who never even got a chance to make their case who are being deported. And there's a lack of transparency in regard to who is being deported. I'm not going to take the government's word for it that they're all criminals and they should all be treated this way. And there are concerns based on legal experts and what they're saying about how this process is playing out. There are concerns that there are international laws and certain pacts and treaties that the United States has agreed to that we're now violating as a result of this process. So, for instance, there was an expert that was interviewed about this, and apparently we are part of the Refugee Convention as well as the Convention Against Torture, and they believe that some of these third country deportations violate those laws, especially when it comes to the fact that their asylum claims aren't even being considered and they're just being deported anyway. So I'm worried about that. The other thing I'm worried about is, the Trump administration claims that they want to discourage illegal immigration, but make no mistake about it, they've also targeted individuals who are trying to do things legally.
Yeah, see, this is a huge part of the problem. Because the campaign trail was like the rapists, the murderers, the vermin, the illegal people, yada, 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 hammered away, right? That they're going to get rid of all the gang members and shit. But they're literally going to Home Depot parking lots. They're grabbing people from farms, from their jobs, from restaurants. They're not grabbing people with criminal records. Hardly anybody. It's like 7% of the people have criminal records. They are also going beyond that. They're going to immigration courts where people who are doing the legal process of observing their immigration hearings, and they are taking them, people who are doing it the right way and going through the system and showing up at all their appointments. They are taking those people. They are taking people who have already been naturalized, who are already legal immigrants, and they are saying, you know what? Your legal status has been revoked. We've just decided to make you illegal, and now we're going to deport you after they've already done the legal process. They are doing it so dirty, so sneaky, okay, so cheap and below board in every possible way. They're just making it like we got to get numbers, and it doesn't matter how we do it. Doesn't matter about due process. Doesn't matter if you're already legal. We're going to overturn your legal status. So now you're illegal after you've done everything right. Dude, it's fucking bullshit. Yes, they're coordinating with judges. They're coordinating with fucking, with governmental agencies in taking away TPS, temporary protected status. Now they also want to be able to denaturalize anyone. Okay, they want to take anybody who's been made a citizen in the U.S. and they want to have the ability to say you're no longer a citizen. Bye-bye. Right? Dude, it's fucking outrageous, bro. They are not doing anything that is simply directed at criminals or people that are, breaking, committing that civil infraction of not having paperwork.
So ICE has detained people at their court hearings. They show up to court, they're following the law, they want to make their case, and then they get snatched up and deported. What does that do? That actually discourages other undocumented people in our country
from
who
going
plan
to
to
court.
go to the courts, right, to make their case, to avoid doing that and to hide instead.
Yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from, but I think the counter argument is that these are undocumented immigrants who shouldn't have been on U.S. soil in the first place.
Dude, Lindy, Lee, fuck you. Okay? Like, if they have a court date, okay, they're in the system. Like, what is she talking about, bro? Oh my God, dude. She is such a fucking scoundrel. Dude.
I understand your perspective, but this is just the different take. And also, I want to say that people have every right to make an asylum claim, but they don't have every right to make an asylum claim in the United States. For example, if you're from Honduras, actually, under international law, you make an asylum claim in the first country you arrive in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And there are, let me see, if you look at a map, there's Mexico, there's the United States, there's several routes you can take. It's not just one, right? And so if there are 7 countries between the United States and your country, you don't skip all the 6 countries in between just to pick the United States.
Yeah, I think I actually think that's a good argument.
Completely forgot that. Yeah. So I remember hearing it in passing.
But this is the mistake I
see. Here's the thing, though, that is such bullshit. Like, if people want to be in America, like, we should make a path so they can be in America. Why do we, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. People from Europe come here and they fucking get a work visa or get a student visa, and then they fucking are able to become citizens. This argument is bullshit. If people want to come here and want to work and we need their labor, like, we should just create a path to citizenship for them. Pure and simple, right? The same way that, like, Elon Musk and Melania fucking, Melania, her husband cheats on her fucking Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Feel like I've made, right? Because during the Biden administration, I wasn't one of these lefties who was like, no, all undocumented immigrants in the country are fantastic. They're wonderful. They're precious little angels. We must protect them all. What was happening in Colorado, for instance, was...
Oh, the apartment building?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude. They're doing the apartment building that didn't even fucking happen, bro. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, yes. There was a right-wing talking point about an apartment building that never happened. But guess what? We're going to bring up the lie about the fucking apartment building because immigration dangerous. Dude, there it is. Fuck you, Anna. Fuck you, Jillian. Fuck you, Lindy.
By the way, taking them over like Aurora, Colorado.
Oh my gosh,
By the way,
bananas.
This is in Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah.
I remember everyone on the left was jumping down my throat. How could you believe this fake story? It
It's
wasn't
a fake story.
In fact, just a few weeks ago, the New York Times did a follow-up on it, and they're like, oh yeah, it turns out that these criminal Venezuelan gangs did take over the apartment complex. Anyway, putting that aside though, I supported what Trump claimed he was going to do with immigration when he was campaigning. But what we have seen is violations of people's human rights, heavy-handed ICE raids, talk about denaturalizing citizens who have done everything the right way, but they have political views that the Trump administration doesn't like. I don't trust the Trump administration on this. And when they claim like they're all criminals, I'm not going to take their word for it. I want to see some transparency here. If they show us who these individuals are, what kind of crimes they were committed of, I'll totally co-sign onto a policy that focuses on those individuals.
So first off, let's fucking fact check her here, because here's the deal. Okay, there's the apartment buildings, and it says Democrats denied the city had a gang problem. The truth is complicated. Okay. Trump's claim that Venezuelan criminals took over Aurora, Colorado became a rationale for his immigration crackdown. What really happened there? But Democrats didn't deny that Aurora, Colorado had a gang problem. Nobody denied that. What we denied is that the fucking gangs had fucking taken over these apartment buildings and were fucking right. And we're operating with some sort of like holding all the residents who live there at fucking hostage. Okay. And now that doesn't mean that there's not a gang problem in Aurora, Colorado. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I know no gang has taken over everything, anything. Okay. So there was an article here about this, but this article was certainly not a gangs took over this apartment building. Okay, at all. But there is a long article here about how complicated that fucking what's going on in Aurora is. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find a good poll quote here. So, I mean, they definitely, right? Like, they have some gang issues in Aurora, Colorado. So it looks like here, okay, here's what we have is some of the men were still living at the Edge at Lowry 4 months after that woman took a video. Okay, a Venezuelan couple said they had been held prisoner by armed men in retaliation for taking a video of women fighting in the parking lot. Okay, and they were beaten up by some people. One of the guys was stabbed in the leg. Okay, the police with Homeland Security sealed off part of the complex, rounded up 19 people, all right? And they charged some people with the thing. But, so there was some fucking battling and some fun shakedowns and definitely some gang members like having, you know, some issues here in this apartment building and criminal activity. But again, though, this is, you know, they don't even know that they're trendy Aragua, okay? Right? They don't even know that they're necessarily like part of this gang. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so are there gang issues? Sure. Okay. Are there they're having some issues in this fucking, you know, with some fucking people extorting people and shit? I mean, yes, but the fact that it was this gang taking over an actual full apartment complex is not accurate at all, okay? It is not accurate at all. You know what I'm saying? And what's more, though, you ready? What's more, though, is I think if you were to look, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'll look into this more off stream, read this article. If you guys want to read the article, here, I could fucking put it here. And in fact, let me see here. Let me do something. Okay, because I think what I can do is I can make it a gift article. Right? I can share as a gift. All right, you ready? So here, I'm going to make it so all you guys can get beyond the paywall. Okay, there's a gift article for if you guys want to read this article. So here's the thing, okay? The thing that's hard about this is ultimately, if we really wanted to look at the gang situation at this apartment building, some of that, guys, falls on the owners of this apartment building, okay? The owners of this apartment building that, like, were either distant owners, that were behaving like slumlords, that were behaving in a way where they weren't monitoring what was going on at their building. They weren't monitoring who was occupying their building, and they weren't taking an active role in managing their fucking buildings. You know what I'm saying? So long before there was a gang problem at this building, there were owners of this building that were not caring for that building at all and not monitoring what people were renting there or being there. I'm sure there were probably plenty of complaints from the residents there. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yes. And like, so man, this is fucking, you know, this is not just a like gangs take over a building, right? And what's more, you ready for this, guys? If you have an apartment building and you don't manage it, you don't care for it, you don't monitor it, you don't take care of it for years, and the people who live there are living in poverty and oppression and disrepair, and their lifestyle sucks, you are creating an environment that is going to fester and create drug sales and gang problems. You are like creating that by your neglect and your lack of investment in the fucking in the area. Okay? If these people are having issues, they will turn to like, you know, like criminal elements for protection and safety. You know what I'm saying? And that happens everywhere. If you let places go to shit, people then are living hard and they need some type of help, and they usually have to then turn to people. And now this isn't just about trendy Aragua. If you want to look at this, you know where it used to happen in white America, guys? It was with the fucking mob, bro. Okay, there'd be neighborhoods that didn't have any, they were corrupt. They didn't have any like people like taking care of the neighborhoods. The cops were corrupt. The fucking, you know, the buildings were in disrepair. Who did they rely on? They had to turn to the mob, okay? Because the mob would go to the slumlord and say, you need to fix your shit or we're going to toss you out the fucking 8th floor building. You know what I'm saying? And that was real common, dude. It's the same shit that happened in Gaza. Israel oppresses the shit out of Gaza. Pretty soon Hamas is like, we'll take care of you. They had nowhere else to turn. You know what I'm saying? And yes, socialism does guard against crime. Okay, socialism absolutely guards against crime. It always has, you know? But of course, this is the misinformation that Anna's fucking spreading here.
But when I see people get snatched up at their court hearings when they're following the law, that's a problem.
Is that 100% accurate?
Yes, it is.
I thought they were being detained and then released.
No.
I saw that
Dude, what is that 100% accurate? They're being detained and released? Dude, Jillian, shut up. Nobody's getting detained and released.
Like San Francisco, and they were released, and then I think
Again,
Seattle.
I think the counter argument is they shouldn't have been here in the first place if they're illegal immigrants.
But
they
if
don't
they
have a
came
right.
to the border seeking asylum, they didn't do it illegally.
Also, the argument is that why, if there are several countries between their home country and the United States, why do we let
but that needs to be adjudicated,
and
right?
also, I think the Trump administration right now feels like it's under siege because they have these activists.
Under siege? Dude, shut the fuck up. She's going to say activist judges. Shut the fuck up, Lindy. You fucking brain dead moron. Shut the fuck up. Activist judges. There are no activist judges. There are judges that respect the fucking civil rights, constitutional right to due process. You stupid bitch. Goddamn, bro.
Judges stymieing his policies every step of the way.
Dude, we don't care about his policies. We care about the Constitution. When Trump's policies are unconstitutional, they get stopped. You fucking jackhole.
And him not being able to find judicial relief because there are so many liberal judges. From, for example, Judge Breyer, who's the brother.
Dude, a lot of these judges aren't even, they were judges that were appointed by him that are defending due process.
A former Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer also basically making law from the bench from my perspective. And another thing is...
From my perspective... Dude, and what's crazy about this, though, she was a goddamn Democrat like 6 months ago, 10 months ago, dude.
It's
fucking jackhole.
This is a political argument. this is arguably a winning policy for him with the base. He's eroded some of the support from the general populace has eroded, but the MAGA base loves it. And
dude, she can't even talk, dude. She can't even fucking speak, dude. She needs to be like washing cars or something.
He's feeling a little bit, under scrutiny because of Epstein and whatnot. This is what he's falling back on to drum up support again.
But it's interesting how it's still kind of divisive because you hear different things. Like I'm hearing some people on the right saying, this is how many deportations have been accomplished so far. If you break.
Dude, you know what's funny about this, about Trump and all his shit, is, you ready for this? Look at this number here. Dude, okay? You ready? Look at this. In 2025, which started in October 2024, okay? 271,000, right? 271,000 deportations, okay? Dude, that's it. 271,000. And that's like some of them were Biden deporting people at the border. Okay? Isn't that crazy? Right? And so in October, let's see. So in the first few months, so 85,000 of them were done by Joe Biden. So that means they've deported 195,000 people. Right? So like, think about that, dude. Trump was claiming that there were 20 million people. So Trump was going to deport 5 million people a year. And in 8 months, he's deported 185,000 in 8 months. 185,000, right? Which means if he keeps the same pace up, he will do about, at the end of his term, he will have deported less than 1 million people. Dude, Obama did way more. I mean, Joe Biden did way more. And not that I'm saying doing more is good, right? I mean, their numbers, though, were a little skewed, though, because they let people cross the border and then they picked them up and deported them, right? Whereas Donald Trump has made it so nobody gets across the border. And now he's trying to deport people that are already in the country, which is like a needle in the haystack. And yes, though Obama also, though they all got their due process, they fucking, nobody's due process was right. They didn't make a spectacle of them. They weren't wrestling them to the fucking ground and rubbing their face in the dirt. And they weren't like masked marauders going door to door. They did it with due process, respecting the humanity and the law of the individuals. Okay, now Donald Trump is doing all this bullshit cruelty that's making people cheer for nastiness, and they're not respecting due process, and they're also just not even gonna come close to the numbers they promise. They're so ineffective, dude, because they have a bunch of idiots running around in fucking plain clothes with cars. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to scare people, hoping if they're mean enough and nasty enough, people won't come here in the first place, or people will leave on their own. You know, dude, it's a fucking clown show.
Break that down over a period of month by month. It's really not even as many as what he claimed that he was going to do. But the thing is, this is the number one issue for so many people that I think people have become callous to these negative repercussions.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. It should be, measured twice, cut once. But because of how emotive this issue was for so many people, the heat index on it, it was like number one for many of the different swing states because it was on their front lawn. So people are just callous to it. They're like,
dude, see, this is bullshit though too. When she says it's this pressing issue for all those swing states because it was on their front lawn. Guys, that's bullshit. Okay? If you want to look, when the immigration really comes through, you want to know where those people go, right? Those people go to California. Those people go to, many of them came to Oregon, right? They went to like some farms and shit, but all those white towns in middle America that have a huge issue with immigration, none of them got any immigrants. Okay? Those towns are still 93% white in Iowa, in Kansas, in fucking Nebraska, right? There are some farming like areas that got immigrants, but they were so thankful for them. Okay? They needed those workers. But man, dude, those like 85% of the Republican voting small town voters didn't see a goddamn fucking undocumented person end up in their town at all over the last fucking 5 years. Not a goddamn one. Okay? And yet immigration was their most pressing issue. They didn't see a goddamn immigrant in their fucking towns, bro. Not a one. All right? You know, if there were some big farms that got an influx of immigrants, but they were appreciative of that. Okay? They were not fucking complaining about it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you're right. If they did get an influx, they were literally saving their goddamn economies, right? Like Springfield, Ohio, where they did get an influx of Haitians, but it was not just under Biden. It was like over the last 10 years, but it saved their goddamn economy. Okay? They had a bunch of manufacturing jobs and nobody to work them. And like Springfield, Ohio is a robust, surviving town with a working economy because of those Haitian immigrants. All right? And they became like a flashpoint for the Republicans to make people hate immigrants. Such fucking bullshit, bro.
That's the failure of the Biden administration. This is the argument I was trying to make before the election happened. And I was like, listen, Democrats, I get it. You want to automatically take the opposite position of whatever Trump is saying. But you have to be smart and nuanced about immigration policy, because if the immigration policies implemented by Democrats are harming various communities because it goes unfettered, there isn't really any, oversight over what's going on at the border, there's going to be resentment building in the country. So
see, here's the problem though, is it wasn't actually harming communities. Okay? It was a talking point for Republicans that they were being harmed and scary, the same as their men and women's sports bullshit. There's 10 goddamn trans athletes in the NCAA. There was no takeover of NCAA sports with 10 goddamn athletes. Those 10 athletes couldn't win more than 10 goddamn races. You stupid motherfuckers, right? So you're telling me that of 500,000 NCAA athletes, how many races did the 10 fucking people win? 10. You fucking morons. So don't tell me it was a huge fucking thing in the NCAA. It was not. Okay? It was not. These communities were not fucking being battered by immigration. Okay? They were not. There were like cities that were receiving a lot of immigrants, New York, California, that were, getting hit kind of hard and having to figure out, whoa, how do we process this? Because there has definitely been an increase in migration. Why? Because of the pandemic. Because South America got fucking ravaged. Okay? So yeah, LA and New York and Chicago and some of these big cities got hit, but none of those goddamn people in fucking buttfuck Wisconsin have anything to do with what's going on in New York. That wasn't affecting them, but they were feeding off what was going on in New York with their own fears. Oh, bad. But dude, they fucking hate New York. And New York figured it out. So did LA, right? They were figuring that shit out. The big metropolitan areas, they were making it work. Okay, and then some places like Springfield, Ohio, got their economy saved by these people. And then Trump goes in and revokes their fucking protected status. And you're right, Matt W. is right. They just hate everything, okay? They hate everything. Dude, like this, can I show you? Can I show you the Republican mindset? Let me show you today. I got into it with some people because look at this. You ready? Just get ready for this, guys. Because there was a post about a cheerleader in Minnesota. Okay, look at this. Let me show you. Right here is this guy that says, breaking, the Minnesota Vikings under major backlash have a male cheerleader, a male lead cheerleader for their season. But like, guys, there's several NFL teams that have male cheerleaders. It's not uncommon to have male cheerleaders. Half the cheerleaders in my high school were males. 2 of my best friends were male cheerleaders. Ronald Reagan was a fucking cheerleader. George Bush was a cheerleader. Okay, but these guys, it's not a transgender person. It's just a man. Okay, and I said, dude, I literally said George Bush and Reagan were cheerleaders. You guys just got to freak out about something. Pretty sure you're just gay, dude. Go get some dick and save yourself a lot of anguish, right? Right? And they got mad. But if you go into these comments, guys, what you'll see is they're not mad. You know what they're mad about? They're mad because he's an effeminate male. Okay, so they're not mad. They're mad that he's a male. Oh, there's male cheerleaders. Nope. Now we're mad that he's acting like a woman. He's a feminine male. And it's like, oh, you hate femininity? Like, fuck you. You really are gay, dude. Go get some dick and just, like, save us. Like, who cares if there's a male cheerleader? Who cares if he's macho or feminine? I don't fucking care. I don't care if this guy wants to wear a goddamn G-string, dude, and hump a fucking kumquat in his fucking garage. Like, let the guy just be a cheerleader. Nobody cares, right? But they literally are just upset about, like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And what's funny about this, though, you ready? Is check this out, though, guys. Because I started getting in here and I argued with a couple and blocked a couple, right? And this guy, like, they're putting pictures of me. Oh, no wonder, right? Like, oh, what is this? Oh, I'm hanging out with Amaranth. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, it's cool. I went to fucking TwitchCon and hung out with Amaranth. You got me, bro. Right? One of the hottest sex workers on the planet. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm hanging out. Right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm real fucking whatever the thing is. But get a load of this guy, though. Okay? Because there's a guy in here. Let me find it. I have to find it because I blocked some of these guys because they were clowns. But check this out. This one guy is funny, though. Okay? Because you ready? Like, here. This one guy really took the cake. Okay? Let me find him. Dude, see, they literally just want to fucking cry about whatever. Okay? But let me find the one guy here. Dude, I was going to town. Right? Right here. So this guy says collages, right? The guy can't fucking spell, but he says collages have male cheerleaders for their strength in some routines. Professional sports teams have female cheerleaders for the men to watch. Men do not want to see gay male cheerleaders pretending to be women or acting like women on professional sports teams, which is bullshit. I mean, this person is brain dead, but I was like, dude, 20% of the fans and players in that stadium are gay. End of story. Okay? You go to the NFL, you go to the entire stadium, 15 to 20% of all those people in that building are fucking gay. Statistically. Fuck off. Okay? That's statistics. The fact that they have to hide it, dude, there are NFL players that are going to see this guy shaking his ass and they're going to be like, God damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? There are plenty of the people in the stadium that are going to go home and jerk off to this guy and let them, right? But this guy's like, oh, they have women for the men. Oh, the men. Like, dude, you're so dumb. And I was like, also, it's colleges and not collages. you fucking dumb shit. But like, dude, how goddamn dumb is this person? Like, how goddamn dumb is somebody that doesn't know in 2025 that 15 to 20% of everybody out there is gay? Like, dude, move on. Like, pick another battle, right? You guys, I know, yeah, they're mad because they're confused because they're like, oh, I watch this guy and I'm not supposed to like him, but my pee-pee's like reverberating when this guy dances. Dude. Right? He's like, this guy's dancing and my pee-pee's reverberating and now I'm going to have to go shove a Bible up my ass. Dude. It's like, get over it, bro. But you're right. They literally are just like crying to fucking cry. Okay? You know what I'm saying? That's it. All right. On that note, though, I got to go make videos. I'm going to go get some Taco Bell. I'm going to go make some videos. I got some work to do. It's time for a little edit mode. Little edit mode. Let's go, baby.
I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around.
You like the rants? Dude, I like the rants too, dude. The rants are fun, aren't they?
I wonder,
Dude, let's go. Together, everyone's waiting, anticipating. My heart's unbreaking.
Your radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking.
You're radiant.
Hey,
let's go, baby. Dude, this is a good stream tonight. Wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down. I'd rather be found.
It gets better. I wonder, my pleasure.
Together, everyone's waiting, anticipating. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You're radiant.
It's about you. I will never be